some ass.
Let's get our fucking shit together and kick some fucking ass!
What's up? This is Kicking Ass with Andy. Jesse's not here. Jesse is on vacation. It is his 5-year anniversary with Laura, Cherry Bomb, Allie, whatever the fuck name she goes by now. They went to a beautiful place called Ithaca, New York, and they're hiking around. And yeah, it looks nice. But he's not here today. So I'm going to run through these ads. I have 2 cool guests. And yeah. This is brought to you by American Barbell Club, as usual. Green Roads. You can go there. CBD. I do believe I think Jesse's got a promo code that is Braxton. Cured Nutrition, promo code ETID. And then Real Good Foods. You can use promo code. You get free shipping, $10 off. And that is TUG, T-U-G. I also want to talk about one thing. A really talented buddy of mine named Aubrey Sitterson, you might know him from Straight Shoot, the wrestling podcast, came out with a comic book about professional wrestling. And it's one of those things where, like, when I read it, when I got it in the mail, you kind of get friend pride, and it's really fucking cool. And it literally goes through the history of professional wrestling for, I guess, layman terms. It's really cool. If you like comic books and you like pro wrestling, find it. So we have 2 guests here today. I needed a co-host, so I chose hacker Scotty O'Shea.
Because I have a similar body to Pepper Parks.
Yeah, you guys are like identical,
yep,
dude.
I got why you did it.
Yep. And then we have a guest in Josh Alexander.
Who I just found out you guys just met each other. Thank you.
Sorry, that's going to bug the shit.
We literally just met for the first time now.
I had no idea. I thought you guys knew that.
We've crossed paths without actually saying hello to one another.
Yeah.
A few times.
Yeah. And it was like, I think Chicago. I was in Chicago once when you were wrestling.
Me and Silas.
Oh, it was you and Silas.
Yeah,
For some reason, I thought it was Zack Sabre Jr.
No,
like,
I've never wrestled.
Yeah, it was you and Silas, and it was like that was like one of the matches. Silas is coming back from knee surgery, and it was fucking awesome. So yeah, and that was like right around the time you were coming back from neck injury, right?
Yeah, it was my second show back for AEW at that time. So yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Did you see Josh like backstage, or did you only see him in ring?
I literally
only in ring.
Okay, I was
no.
say.
For real?
In ring, and then I remember we did the match. Intermission happened. I was like, oh, I got new shirts. Hopefully, I sell something. And I was running out, and you have to walk across the bar, and you were like leaning back with your elbows up on the bar, facing the ring.
Yeah.
And I walked right past you. I was like, that guy with the mustache looked familiar. But
Yeah.
I just kept walking.
That was like one of the crazy that day. Like I wrestled at Warped Tour that day, and then like Marty Skrull, who's on screen right here.
Yep.
He was that night. He was like wrestling Phoenix, and that day, that poor man sat in the sun all day. He was like sunburned. I love Freelance. Freelance is another Chicago wrestling promotion, and but that day, like I think they didn't know exactly what Warped Tour was. I mean, they knew what Warped Tour was, but like they didn't have anywhere for the wrestlers to like hide.
That sounds like a typical outdoor show.
It really was.
Communal washrooms? There you go.
Yeah. And like he was sunburned, and I remember like Phoenix like chopping the shit out of him, and just feeling like really bad for him.
Which is really the route to go if you ever see somebody who's sunburned. Literally, the first thing they will always say is, "Hey, lay off the chops today."
Yeah.
Which typically means, "Okay, I'll just bear paw you instead," because you weren't descriptive enough.
Yeah, and he was like really weird that day. I remember like going up to him, and he was just sitting on his bag in like a field. in his shit, like in his
dressed
gear.
up as a giant fucking falcon or whatever it is.
Wearing a full tuxedo.
Yeah.
And I like rolled up to him. I was like, "Yo, man, like you can come chill on our bus. Like I have like water and food and stuff like that. You can like come hang out." And he was like, "Okay." And then he like turned around. I thought he was gonna go grab his bag, and then he just sat on his bag. And I literally just sat there looking at him for about like 15 minutes, and then was like, "All right, I'm not gonna sit in the sun. I'm
All right,
going.
man, see you in there. Fuck off.
Have fun, bud." Yeah, and that was like
Gangster rejection.
Yeah, no kidding.
yeah, just like fuck you.
Because
man.
what I was really interested
I'll
in
be there.
was I was hoping you and Josh had some kind of something.
I already know where you're going with this.
Because Josh has resting bitch face, and everyone thinks he's an asshole. And
Well, I
I
did
was hoping
say-
you'd have something like that.
I was like
because-
telling my girlfriend, I was like, we're having like this dude Josh on, and like he's very stoic.
Yeah.
Like every time I see him,
Stoic is the nicest word for dick I've ever
I would
heard.
no, I wouldn't say dick, but it's just like, you know, like when you think of like someone like, you know, like wrestling character will always you know what I mean? Like
yeah, when that's all you know him by.
And you're like a stoic wrestler. You're not like the guy smiling and like running around in the stage, you know, in the stage, yeah.
in the stage, yeah.
In the ring.
Big entrance.
Yeah.
Have I gotten this since I started training, pretty much?
Yeah, yeah.
I've
You
just
always
always
look like a
had this-
miserable prick.
Yeah.
Every girl I've dated ever is just like, you know, I thought you were really going to be an asshole. I'm like, usually that means they were disappointed, right?
Yeah.
But like, and then like every dude in every locker room comes up to me just like, you know, we hit it off after we like, had a match together. I'm like, well, yeah, but like I didn't know you, so.
Yeah.
You don't have resting bitch face. You have resting. How dare you try to take my daughter out for a date face? I think.
And you have 2 children. You just
Yes.
you just had a baby.
Another baby. Yes,
Yeah.
like 2 boys.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
That's rad.
Yeah.
And for those that don't know, he's married to Jade Chung, which still blows my mind.
I think we're all overachievers here.
Well, yeah, we're all. Yeah, that's fucking the truth.
I like the fact that it's like man, I still can't believe it.
I was
Like,
at
there's-
Jade Chung's wedding. Like,
Yeah.
if you were to tell 10-year-old,
19-year-old Josh
The-
in tug time watching ROH.
there you go, there you go. Like, it is pretty unreal.
It's funny too, because like what she's like in Superkick, she's like part of like the weed group. Yeah.
The Black Weed Group.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, if
Yeah.
we're gonna be, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, no, and she's the furthest from ever smoking weed.
Of course.
Like, she just looks so awkward holding up her fingers to try to give, like, that sign.
Yeah.
I just make fun of her every time.
Yeah, she looks like she fits the part. Throw her in.
Yeah. Kindergarten teacher.
Anytime I've ever been around her, I remember when I first started like wrestling for Smash, I was still like, the first show I did anything on. No, I think it was the first show I did anything on the Samoa Joe's, like one of Samoa Joe's like last
That's
like
the first time we met.
indie show.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
remember that.
And I was like terrified. Like in there, I was just like, all these people fucking hate me. I'm like the band guy that's taking someone's job. You know what I mean? Like that just goes over. And Jade was like super nice.
Yeah.
Like the whole time she's like, hey, like, you know, like, and I was like, oh, okay, hi. Like, you're really nice, but like these other dudes are like,
I remember that night I was working Pepper and you were with him.
yeah.
And I was just putting my match together with Pepper. I don't know if I had said hi to you yet, but we were sitting on those like little like gymnasium like benches.
Yeah.
And I was just like, hey, I'm Curtis, by the way. Are you a worker? Because you look fucking gigantic.
Yeah.
And you're just like, no, man, I'm in a band. And I was like, well, don't be, because you're bigger than fucking everyone.
And it was like that night was like terrifying. And I thought like, because I was doing stuff with Tarek, so I'd only known Tarek from like character Tarek.
Yeah, yeah.
And I was like, oh, this guy's a prick. Like, oh, this sucks, man. Like, boom. And I remember him, like, I remember taking a slap. And that day, he was wearing, like, I don't think he was wearing, like, gear. I think he had, like, I know one of the times he slapped me in the face, he was wearing, like, sweatpants. And he was like, well, I'm not going to get, like, a good smack off it. I was like, just fucking hit me. And he was like, well, I don't want to, like, hurt you. I was like, dude, just, it's okay, hit me. And I remember him hitting me so hard, my ears whistled. Like, I had that, like, weird thing. And I was like, oh, wow, man.
I immediately regret this decision.
Yeah, yeah. But he was also, like, that was, like, the first time, too, like, being trained by dudes who like love Southern wrestling, you get that like real hokey Southern punch.
Yeah, yeah.
And then when Tarek hits you, you're like, oh, that's how it's supposed to feel.
Yeah.
You know, Tarek's like,
Yeah, potato.
yeah. I don't mind it though. It's also like the type of wrestling I like. So it was interesting.
That's actually the same night, because I remember I left that night immediately to meet up with Josh and a bunch of others, because that was Paige's bachelor party. And that's the night you told me you're quitting, or you're retiring because of your neck.
Yeah.
And that was funny because...
What happened with your neck? Like, what was it?
I completely crushed and herniated the disc, the C4.
Okay.
With my C5 disc.
Shout out
like
to
two
C4.
two donuts hit each other, one exploded.
Yeah.
And it's like, there's no way this is going to go back in because it's got nothing to go back into. So they had to fuse the one level.
Yeah.
And I guess when they did it, they didn't clean out everything.
Oh, yeah.
So when I went in the second time, they thought that I herniated another disc.
Let me just do that real quick.
Sorry.
Yeah,
That's okay.
They thought that I had herniated the disc above, and they were like, yeah, you can't wrestle with 2 fusions. Like, that's just,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? So I was like, oh, damn, I guess I can't wrestle anymore. And then I woke up from neck surgery. I didn't have a neck brace on this time. And I was like, what's going on? Like
This time?
Yeah.
Okay.
Second neck surgery. You know,
Okay. Very cool.
a little extreme.
Yeah.
And I had to wait 24 hours for the surgeon to come see me. Different surgeon this time. And he just walks in and goes, yeah, like, so we just went in there and cleaned it all up. Turns out you're okay. We didn't have to fuse anything. And I was like, well, fuck.
Yeah.
I just did this huge retirement thing.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
oh, I worried about it, like, for a year almost.
Yeah. That you actually like did this like retirement thing, or
Yeah,
like the
that
fact
that I told everybody I was retiring.
Yeah.
I'm done for sure. I did a retirement
Because you
show.
knew immediately you're gonna come back. If you're healthy, you're gonna come back.
Yeah, but
Right, so-
but then again, I was just like, I can't come back. There's no way.
Of course, yeah.
So I didn't tell anybody about this second, like everything being okay.
Yeah.
Not even like my best friend Ethan Page.
Yeah.
And then like I cracked like in the new year. I told him, and we had a podcast at the time, and he was just like, there's no fucking way you're not coming back. And I was just like, yeah, but people are going to be mad at me, and, like, they're going to think I'm a fucking liar and all this stuff. He's like, oh, fuck them. Like, this is all you're good at.
Yeah.
Like, all this stuff. So, like, he pushed me into it.
I just went to the chiropractor for the first time.
Oh, that's
Ever.
terrifying.
I don't
Literally,
believe in that
like-
black magic.
A week, like, it was on Monday. And he cracked me literally for the first time. And I was like, he pulled like a fast, like the old switcheroo. He was like, deep tissue. And he's like, oh, he's doing this thing where my neck's in this like weird position. And then he's just like, yeah, look right. Blap. And I was like, what was that, dude?
That sounds terrifying.
I can't even crack my neck. I don't know how to do it. Like, you know those dudes that can just go, and they're like neck.
I can do knuckles, that's about it. And knees, accidentally.
Dude.
You've never had a chiropractor crack your neck?
No, because I think... I remember being younger, my mom being like, don't go to a chiropractor, they fix you, but then you have to keep going to them. And I was like, well, then I'm not going to start, because then I'm in a fucking bad loop here. So I just haven't.
Dude, my neck feels awesome.
Really?
Yeah.
I'll go with it. I'm trying new things.
It was like, but it was terrifying. Like, as he's going in, he like x-rayed me first, because I had just like a random thing happen, just on a back roll. Like, literally did a back roll, and I popped up with my neck instead, because I just had shoulder surgery. So like, my arms aren't moving. They're still kind of like, in security mode. And I popped myself up with my neck, and it like popped, and I was like, oh no. And then had a headache for 3 weeks. I was like, I gotta go do this thing. And he x-rayed it, and I was like, oh man. I kept thinking of you. I was like, I'm gonna be Josh Alexander.
Be that guy.
I'm gonna retire because my neck on a back roll, not even like a cool move.
That's how it always happens. How'd you break your neck? Do you remember the moment?
Yeah.
What was it?
Ring of Honor, Michigan. Literally the best match I've ever had in my entire career. Kyle O'Reilly does a tornado DDT that he rode right into the suplex kick.
Yep.
With Red Dragon, and I took the DDT, and I forgot it was a fucking roll through, because I was so like the crowd was insane.
Yeah.
Like, they were chanting my name in the main event later on for Kevin Steen's retirement.
I remember you. Okay.
And I was in the back, like, I got so much heat for this. Like, I don't know
Yeah.
what the fuck's going on. It was because I had headgear in Michigan. I
Yeah,
guess.
yeah.
But and I spiked, and when I spiked, he rolled back, and my neck just went.
Yeah.
And I felt it right away, and I was like, shit. And I thought I was okay. 3 days later, I went to do pull-ups, and I couldn't pull up with my one arm. It was, I had zero strength.
That's my problem with pull-ups, too. I have a broken neck.
Yeah, it's probably the neck. It's probably most likely.
Yeah, I agree, yeah. Problem with bench, too. But
Yeah. Yeah, that was like, with my like shoulder surgery, I was just like, oh, it's probably just something with that. And then they like did it. He like found like a whole bunch of chips in the front. But he was like, oh man, I gotta look. And he did like 2 more x-rays. And then finally he was like, yo, when you were like 9 years old, you broke your neck. And I was like, what? And he's like, yeah, do you remember anything? I was like, no. And I had a bunch of like chips, but they just grew right back to my neck.
Perfect.
Like the bones, there's like a bunch of bone debris, like
calcified?
Yeah.
I remember hearing there was a kickboxer on Rogan's podcast, and he said kickboxers, when they practice like their low kicks and stuff, they'll do it against hard shit sometimes. Yeah. And they'll just get microfractures in their leg, which calcify over and just make the bone stronger. So their shin bone literally becomes a cinder block at some point. Yeah. Because it's just like broken and healed and broken and healed. And it's just, that's some Wolverine type shit. Yeah.
That's how Van Damme took down a palm tree, man.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. It's all recorded in movie history. Yeah, yeah, that was like watching, obviously, like you and I are, I don't know if you're an MMA fan or whatever like that too, but like you and I, that's how we became kind of friends. Yeah. Like started talking about like MMA or like UFC and stuff like that. And like that shit is like terrifying. And that was on the Rogan podcast, like Dwayne Ludwig was talking about chiropractic, and then of course Rogan was like, ooh, like calling like typical Rogan.
Yeah, if it's
like,
not in Rogan's daily routine, he doesn't believe in it.
Yeah, but I was like, oh man, if Bang does it, I got to do it.
Yeah.
So then I just found a chiropractor and went to the chiropractor.
I'm down to try it because I'm pretty sure I get like in my work benefits I get it, but I have a real big problem of leaving the house when I'm home. That's my biggest thing. If I can hit it on my way home from work, I'll do it. If I gotta leave at 6:30, I'm out. Yeah,
that's like what I'm starting to like. I know like with traveling and stuff like that, you guys like fucking have been wrestling for ever. So like when you guys like go and travel and stuff like that, like sometimes it's so hard to just leave. And I'm sure now that there's 2 children involved, it's probably even harder.
I couldn't imagine with kids.
If I didn't have my if she wasn't Jade Chung, like she wasn't.
Of course,
yeah. If she didn't get it,
oh my god, I couldn't even imagine how it would be. But
yeah,
now it's like I gotta. She reminds me I have a show on Saturday, and I'm like,
yeah,
shit.
Yeah,
and I'm like, okay, fine. And then she's, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I like how you act like you're putting us over as like we're Ric Flair in the territory days, totally forgetting that you're part of a band for the past 20 years. Have been traveling everywhere.
It's all I do.
Right, it's amazing.
Yeah,
amazing.
It's fucking unreal, man.
I would be miserable.
Dude,
there's nothing I love more than my own bed.
What's funny though, man, is like I used to be that guy that literally like I hated being home. It was like the other way around. You'd meet dudes on tour and they would be like, I fucking hate touring, man. And I'm just like, are you fucking kidding me, man? I'm in fucking Evansville, Indiana, dude. This is so cool. You know, and like just be hyped about everything. And then like the last like 2 years, which has been the best 2 years of our band's history, I have just been like, home is awesome.
It's the best.
Yeah.
You've also got wrestling now.
I know, man.
Yeah.
Like I think that's what it is too. Like every dude in our band has something else, and I was the one guy that just didn't have anything else. It was just like, well, if I didn't have a guitar, I'd probably just end up dead.
I was telling somebody, because one of my real life friends, he always wants to hang out, and I admittedly blow him off more than I should, and I feel terrible about it, but just, I don't know, it feels like you don't have a ton of spare time when you do. I don't like leaving. And the one day he kind of lost it on me. He's like, dude, we never fucking hang out anymore, blah, blah, blah. And I went off on him. And I made a point and I didn't realize how good it was. I've been wrestling since I was like 13. And I don't travel a ton, but just leaving your house once or twice a weekend to go to a show, local or not. Like, I'm always out on weekends.
Yeah.
Right? Like, even if it's not far, I'm always gone weekend nights. And that's been my entire teenage life up until now when I'm 28. Now it's just like a night in is the best thing I could ever imagine. Yeah. And like I think a lot of people like they don't have a passion that they're chasing all the time. Yeah. So most of their nights are nights in. Yeah. Right? Like most of their weekends when I know
it's
so many people.
It's so harsh to vocalize, dude.
Yes, I know so many people that like literally when they get out of work on Friday, they're going to go home and play video games until Monday morning and they come in, right? And if I get like just a couple hours playing video games, it's phenomenal. And I don't even have a busy schedule. Yeah. You know.
But it's like I just realized I had like a few conversations with like Hannah, my girlfriend, my best friend Wes, where I'm just like, dude, I spread myself thin so much, and it's like that's probably why my 40-year-old body gets hurt really bad, easy. So like you know, like I'm in training, I do a back roll, boom, my neck pops. Yeah, you know what I mean, like shit like that, and then Jesse's always like, oh, dude, you got to come to the training on Wednesday. Come to the training on Wednesday. And then I get to training on Wednesday. I'm like, dude, my neck is fucked. Like, I'm going to just do the drills, and then I'm getting the fuck out of here. Like, I don't want anyone touching me. And it sucks to say that. Like, I don't want to do a practice match in there. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, just shit like that. I just want to, like...
Well, the idea of a practice match now terrifies me. Like, I'll do one, but I don't want to.
Yeah.
Like, I used to be one of the... Josh was the same before a show. We'd get to the venue a couple hours early and, like, work through so many spots and stuff. Yeah. The last thing I want to do before wrestling is roll around and bump for no reason. Yeah. Like, I love doing it, but I'm going to do it when it counts, you know? Yeah. And I've found, like, that's when I'm going to stub my toe and break it. For sure. Like, it's always in those little fucking moments. Yeah. You know, so it's just like, I don't know. Maybe I'm actually accepting that I have a bump card, even though I've been in denial for so long.
Yeah. Well, but, even though you're in good shape and all this stuff, I was the stupidest bump taking Like I would bump a million times a match just to make a point to the guy in the back that told me to take it easy. Yeah. Like I had a real fuck you attitude for a long time. Yeah. I think we both did. Yeah. And I hit 27 and all of a sudden I wasn't invincible anymore. Yeah. That was like one day I woke up and just like all of a sudden my left knee hurts. Oh no, my neck. Yeah. Oh, my back. Like I've never thrown on my back before. Yeah. Or felt a superplex, and like now at 31. Yeah. Like I tore my pec 2 weeks ago. So like
a partial tear?
Yeah, partial tear, but it's like
still sucks, man.
Yeah, and then I was like I thought I was okay after a week, so I did 3 shows last weekend and I just completely
fucked it. Yeah.
Way worse.
What's like that today my workout like so I knew that I had to, this sounds so old. I was like, and it's funny because now that I have a significant other, she gets to hear all my like garbage old man stuff. So I don't really have to ever vocalize this shit. It's great. She hears it, and then and I'm sure like she probably goes to her friends and like, oh my god, he's amazing. You couldn't even tell he's 40. You know, and like right. She's probably like hears me like be like, oh well, I stretched for an hour and a half today. And blah, 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 like and that's literally my workout. So this morning, like yesterday, like I started feeling good last week. Like me and Puff like worked out, and for some reason I just had it on my high horse. It's like, oh, I'm gonna pull heavy today, and I did like a pull that I haven't done a pull this big since before my knee surgery. Wow. It's like 3 years ago. So I did a big pull. It's like, oh, I'm feeling good. And now I'm like, oh, so chest is coming up, shoulders is coming up, blah blah blah. And dude, I went heavy on deads and just kept going, and then my lower back was. And today I stretched for like an hour, and I wanted to leave by 2:00. But I was still at the exactly. I was still at the gym at 2:00, and I was like, "Fuck, man! Had I not just stretched? I had to stretch for an hour to make my body feel good to work out."
We were talking about that at dinner, though, like how when you get injured or something, you have to keep that body moving. And like we've had that exact same talk about our knees and stuff. Like the worst thing you can do is when you get if you can move it, move it. Yeah. Because like it's gonna fucking get better quicker.
Yeah. Well, you got to think like too that was like. With my shoulder surgery, what we were like talking about is like, I have this like weird. Ever since I was a little kid, I've always thought about that. I think about old blood, like that fact that like there's just old blood in your body. Like at some point in time, there just has to be like not new blood. Yeah. Somewhere. So that probably just hangs out there, right? Yeah. And then once I realized what the human body does when you have an injury. Old blood just chills in that area, and you have to get rid of old blood.
That's a weird way of thinking about it. It's going to terrify me now.
Right? So, like, a bruise, like, when I was a kid, I was like, why am I bruising? And my mom was just like, oh, that's where, like, blood goes. Yeah. And then I was like, well, it's fucking blue. Yeah. Or black. That can't be good. It's old blood. Like, sitting there. You know what I mean? Like, you got to get rid of old blood. So, anytime I have an injury, they tell you to, like, chill. But I just start fucking going. And like with my shoulder, like I told you, like my shoulder surgery, I was hiking 2 days after in an immobilizer in a fucking, I think Metallica Ride the Lightning shirt that was like interwove through the immobilizer, so I couldn't take it off. It just looked weird. It was like half on, half off. I had like an Andre the Giant thing going. And I just. To think if you were like a fucking teenage girl on that fucking trip, that hiking.
You mean the same teenage girls that were behind Puff and Tank when they shit? Yes. Or okay, just making sure.
But like like that was always like at that time like college started like kind of like letting out. Mm-hmm. Like there was always like younger couples and stuff, and this crazy weird man with a huge gash, like this blood soaked thing just wandering around in sweatpants, and that was me.
Well, I remember, like, I'm huge on giving blood. I give blood, like, every...
once you have tattoos, they're not allowed.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh. That makes sense now I think about it, because one of the checklists you gotta go through, that makes sense. Yeah. But, like, it's about every 75 days I go, because they call me, and you get, like, a punch card. Yeah. And 100 punches gets you a gold card, and I am en route. I'm at, like, 64 donations or something like that. And but I remember one guy at work told me, it's just like, yeah, when you get rid of your blood, your body has to make new stuff. And I was just like, man, that sounds so healthy. I have to do this all the time. Plus, I always get Bits and Bites afterwards and lemonade.
Yeah.
And it's just like, this is the best thing ever. But it kind of goes with your old blood theory.
That's what I'm saying,
and I didn't
dude.
even realize I was following it.
Yeah, you just have old fucking blood, man.
Gross when you think about it.
Yeah.
Your blood's just being shipped down to the Rockefellers.
Yeah, that's all.
72-year-old.
They're
Anyone
just
can drink
drinking
it. I
it.
don't care. But
Yeah. Oh, I love that conspiracy. So I was talking about flat Earth for a while on the podcast, and then it actually like the words flat Earth will automatically make people think that you believe in flat Earth, and I don't believe in it. I'll just say it straight out. But there's nothing more amusing than following flat Earth.
it's amazing.
It is fucking awesome. And I'm sorry if you're listening to this and you believe in flat Earth, but
You're an idiot. They can't work iTunes if they believe
I
it.
still haven't gotten to listen to the Jericho podcast
Dude,
you guys talk about all the time.
it's amazing.
It's good.
But like anything I've heard on Rogan or anything I listen to, I don't even know how to wrap my head around what they're thinking.
I saw a good picture, like, proving how flat Earth couldn't work today. Because it was basically like, it was flat Earth. It was just a picture of a flat Earth with a lamp over it.
Yeah.
And it said, okay, daytime, the light is shining on all of Earth.
Yeah.
And it's just like, nighttime, how?
Does it
like,
just
how
go
does
away?
half the Earth not have light?
I did. Okay. So in my research, they believe that it's like it goes into the earth or something. Like they believe that it goes like the earth is like a donut almost.
That's what that's another
and
thing
it
I keep
goes
thinking.
through
Yeah.
and then it comes out, which is just strange to me.
But if you're believing the Earth is a donut, why wouldn't you just believe it's like a globe? Like,
Yo, they just had like this is my favorite thing. If you there's
it's a Timbit instead of a donut.
yeah.
That's all.
Yeah. So there's a podcast called the Flat Earth Podcast. They really thought outside the box on that one, outside the globe on that one. And I am obsessed with it. I listen to it all the time because, and I've talked about it on the podcast before, where like they'll be like, today we are gonna the guy has a horrible lisp too, so he's like, today we are going to debunk the lunar eclipse, and then like, and all he does is just talk shit about people that believe that the earth is round.
How dare they?
And it goes, and so if it's an hour and 15-minute podcast, for 45 minutes, he's just like, oh, and then the other day I was at Panera and this guy came up to me and I was like, do you believe in flat earth? And he didn't believe in it. And I was like, well, you got to go on YouTube and you have to check out Stargirl69's YouTube channel because she debunks blah, blah, blah. And then like goes like that. Can you believe this guy? And then they talk about 9/11.
Yeah,
and then
which is a great one.
Yeah, they talk about the Pentagon. They talk about like all this crazy shit.
Tower 7, brother.
Yeah. And then for the last 15 minutes, they're like, and now to debunk the lunar eclipse, which is like the heading of the whole thing. And then for 15 minutes, he just talks about how you have to go look at some guy's YouTube channel.
That's
and like, that's it. And then it ends. So like on the newest episode, they're talking about a billboard that was up outside the Flat Earth Convention in like,
There's a convention.
dude, literally in like, it's
Dozens of people
It's
go.
in like Dick and Balls, North Carolina, like the worst place possible. And they're like, "Oh, when the Globers see this billboard, blah blah." It's like no one's gonna see it because it's in the worst place. It's like dog fart. It literally is like dog fart, North Carolina, or something like that. I could be way wrong. It's probably Charlotte, but anyways, there's one billboard that exists,
Like,
and
we're
they
getting
think
them.
the entire world is gonna see that.
My whole thing with it, like,
Vice, by the way, Vice just did a mini documentary. They went
on Flat
there-
Earth,
No, they went to the convention.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
they
So
only serve pancakes and
Dude,
other flat
this
objects.
this man that looked like a dollar store John Carpenter, like sells like the only replica of Flat Earth. Like he figured it out, like how to make like an actual replica of it, and it looks like something you would buy at like a truck stop.
My whole thing is, like, I don't care.
Dude,
Like,
that's
it could be a fucking dog's cock and balls. It doesn't matter to me. I still gotta take the same route to work.
This is my favorite thing in the world because now it's like someone like Elon Musk, who literally is like a troublemaker.
Oh, yeah,
like
absolutely
he
he is.
loves rubbing people the wrong way.
Did you hear him on Rogan's podcast?
Yeah, it's
The most
amazing.
terrifying thing I've
It's
ever heard.
it's horrible.
It's so scary, but
There's a point where he like reboots.
Yeah.
He goes
Yes.
to say something. He's like, really? And
Yeah.
it just
dude, he's not real.
No, there's
but the fact that he came up with a company called Boring,
Right?
and they just do shit just to fuck with people.
And I love how Rogan was like, so, like, who do you got to talk to about drilling under LA? And he's like, you don't really. Like,
You just
like there's
dig
no
a
one in
hole.
charge of that, really.
Yeah.
It's just like, if you want to do it.
Brother's
like,
just
yeah.
digging a hole.
Yeah, exactly. And, like, I guess it's safe in earthquakes because Elon tells us it is.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be fucking testing it.
But, like, if you-
mines collapse.
Remember what we were talking about earlier, just like people that have a shit ton of money, like what you would do with that money?
Yeah.
If I was Elon Musk, I would take this flat earther guy and be like, hey, bud, I'm sending you up there.
Yeah.
Take a look.
All expenses.
Coming down. $1 million? Fuck it. Here you go. $2 million? Fuck it. Here you go. You're going up. He guys sent a car up there.
And a robot playing
You coulda-
Rocket Man
Yeah.
on loop.
He should have just put a flat earther in
Yeah.
there and had them come back and be like, guys, they were right.
Yeah. Like,
And like, what is tomorrow? Like, let's say flat Earth gets tomorrow. Let's say the Earth is flat tomorrow.
Yeah.
Like it tonight, right now, as we're here on the news, now
Breaking.
that we're not watching, it's breaking that the Earth is flat. What happens to
I would literally be like, I guess I was wrong, and never think about it again.
your boss is literally going to be like, well, you got to work tomorrow.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Nothing changes minus a couple podcasts. Fucking
Yeah, I can follow
celebrate.
Eddie Bravo on Instagram again, I guess.
Oh yeah. Well,
Yeah, he's
okay.
a tough
That was
follow. He's
the
a
other.
tough
The
follow.
thing is though, that tinfoil hat thing,
Mm-hmm.
dude. I was so broken. I thought that out of all the people I know, I was like,
Don't break my heart.
I was
okay?
like, hacker's gonna go with.
I
me on
wanted
this.
to.
And I was like, because I like Eddie Bravo and Sam Tripoli.
You wouldn't do it?
It was last Friday, and
Yeah.
I had to be at the HPW show, and I had a baby shower to set up.
Yeah. So like
No,
it
bitch
just
move.
I just like instantly like hit him up. I was like, yo, like we'll meet half. It's like not halfway, but like totally
Not
worth
far.
it. Like
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like to see Eddie Bravo and Sam Tripoli like Tripoli.
Tripoli, I think
Yeah,
it
that's
is.
how it is. Do like the tinfoil hat thing. I really wanted to go, but like that day, like Jesse, we went and saw Predator.
How is it, by the way?
It was
How
awesome.
Yeah.
Terrible.
You didn't really?
I've heard that's all I've heard is terrible.
Really?
Yeah.
You like The Nun, though.
I thought it was great. I didn't
And that's
mind
been
it,
shit on too.
I like The Nun. It's
I
a
didn't
perfectly
mind it.
acceptable movie.
dude.
My baby was born in June. I have not seen a movie since.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Movies are my
That
favorite
happens.
thing in the whole world.
Me too. Yeah,
But like all I'm reading is all about this like peppermint. I was so buzzed for that one.
dude, it wasn't bad.
Yeah, and it's got like
that-
11% on Rotten Tomatoes.
I know, dude. I hate Rotten
I
Tomatoes.
gotta stop reading anything.
That's how
Like, I
it is.
just gotta experience it.
I hate when people will read that first and then that makes their.
Exactly.
It
I usually
kills
go by
me.
the fan.
Yeah.
Audience because like the critics for Peppermint is like 89. So I'm
Yeah.
like, oh yeah, this is probably good. But,
I didn't like Peppermint. Like people were like, oh, this is like this made Death Wish look like an Academy Award winner, and it was like, or it just seems like a Death Wish with like a
Yeah.
female actress, and it's sick.
I literally go on Reddit and I type in, like, if it's horror, I'll go on the horror subreddit, type in the movie, and I'll only click on the positive links. Because,
Yeah.
like, I like to like things. I don't want to hate
Same.
it. You know what I mean? So, like, The Nun, I loved it, but I think I was going to love it no matter what. Also, I kind of have a nun fetish now.
Yeah.
And, like, there's a lot going on in that movie. Like, a lot of jump scares. But, like, I'm not one of these snobs that hate jump scares.
Yeah.
Like, I appreciate, like, a hereditary type, like, eerie feeling.
Yeah, for sure.
But, like, a horror movie, like, I'm fine with a good jump scare.
Dude, I went into that like people were just shitting on The Nun, but like I didn't think like The Conjuring was like one of the greatest horror movies I had ever seen.
Yeah,
either.
yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. It fits perfectly in that universe.
Yeah. And that was the thing, and then that was like the big thing that people said was just like, oh yeah, it's like it just like I can't believe this is in The Conjuring. I was like, one is about a doll.
Yeah, yeah,
Annabelle.
exactly.
Like, and it was dog shit.
Yeah.
But it was
Annabelle's the worst
still,
one.
but it was still like, you eat popcorn and you're at the movies.
That's half the thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm there for the popcorn and the camaraderie.
That's literally like, I'll go see, I saw Slender Man, which is the worst movie I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Hands down, the
I've
worst
stopped.
movie I've
Yeah,
ever
I
seen.
didn't even.
It was so bad. But like, me and Puff went and saw it, and it was like fun because me and Puff went and saw it. You know what I mean? Like, it was just.
One of my favorite stories is like somebody went to the movies one day. It was like Christmas Day, and they
Yeah.
saw you, and you were there watching Bad Moms alone.
Of course. Dude, I hate Christmas.
No, see, we're not gonna get along.
Yeah.
I've heard people say this before that they hate Christmas.
Oh, I love it.
I hate Christmas.
I love it.
I hate it.
Funny story. Okay, I came to do your podcast. I think it was it was right between Christmas and New Year's, but getting closer to New Year's.
Yeah.
And I love Christmas.
Yeah.
Like, I'm a fucking fanboy. And I have a serious postpartum Christmas depression.
Yeah.
And it hits, because we decorate the fucking whole house.
Yeah.
And it hits when I start having to take stuff down.
Picture Griswold.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, not even.
For real. And so, like,
I love that.
January 1st, it's coming down. Because I love Christmas, but I don't want to spoil it, right?
Yeah.
So, January 1st got to come down. I think I did the podcast, like, the 29th, 30th.
Yeah.
And I was having so much anxiety about taking all this stuff down. When I came home that night from the podcast, my girlfriend put it all away.
Oh.
It was like that day, I was like, she's done a million things that make me want to marry her. That moment, I was just like, this has to last every Christmas, because I never want to do this.
Yeah.
I fucking love it.
Yeah, I you know what it is? It's like I don't have a very resonant voice. I have like kind of like in my family, I kind of have like this like dusty voice. I have like a little bit of bite to it. You know what I mean? Everyone has like a high pitched registered voice, and they just all yell.
Oh, yeah.
And so like I never can talk, and I literally like since I've been a kid, I just sit there and I'm just like, so Andy, how was tour? And then like they start yelling, and I'm just like, okay, cool. And then like I'm gonna go see movies. And I like when I was like probably like 17, I started seeing 3 movies a day.
Jesus.
So like
I've never even done the double feature.
Really?
No, I've never gone alone.
Puff?
I want to.
Puff did a double feature the other day. Puff did he did Predators, and then I met him to see White Boy Rick.
Now, do you pay for both movies, or do you just pay for the one and then go to the next feature?
We have the AMC ticket now.
Different in America.
Oh, yeah, that's right, yeah.
We have the AMC ticket now, which is the Stubbs Rewards thing. You can see 3 movies a week for like $20.
Damn.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Didn't
there has to be something up here.
Nothing.
Like, what is
Canada
it?
gets
Nothing
ripped
up
off.
here. When I was in
Movieplex?
England,
Oh yeah,
they have CineStar or
Yeah.
something, and like the guy I stayed with, they just walk into movies all week.
Yeah.
We saw like 4 movies.
Jesus.
Didn't Movie Pass or something just die a terrible death or something like that?
But
Yeah.
they're still paying for it. even
Is that what it is?
Yeah, and
You get
I canceled mine, and then they just redid it.
Nice.
It's nice.
Nice.
I haven't went back and re-canceled it because I'm just like
Yeah.
at some point in time I'm gonna meet Bob Movie Pass, and I'm gonna fucking whoop his ass.
If I have to call someone on the phone,
yeah,
I won't.
yeah.
So if I ever subscribe to something monthly and I want to cancel, I'm just paying for it for the
You're
rest of
never
my
going
life.
to say anything to anybody anyway.
That's true.
Yeah.
Also,
This-
I meant to tell you, I was really happy he didn't come to dinner with us.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
You're
because
such
because I've been to many restaurants with him, and not only does he look like this, when he gets angry, not even angry, if a waitress treats him, if a waitress is having a bad day,
It
Yeah.
wasn't a waitress. It was a waiter,
it's a waitress.
and he threw my receipt in my
You're remembering
face.
a different time.
Wait, what happened?
Okay, so this guy will piss his pants and run out of the booth
Remember
and
I said
leave
I
the
don't like
restaurant.
confrontation?
Yeah.
No confrontation. Not even like, excuse me, miss. I said no onions.
Yeah, yeah.
Is that okay? Is that okay? I'll eat it anyway. And like I'm like that too. And he's like, oh my god, I can't believe you complained about the onions. He
Yeah.
loses his shit. But this one time we went to Denny's with all the wrestlers after a show.
Yeah.
And we just
See,
had
now you're
this-
thinking of a different time. Now I have 3 moments in mind right now.
but none of them are as serious as this one.
Okay, go.
And there's 9 people sitting around the booth.
Yeah.
We all get lumberjack slams and
Of
whatever,
course.
you know what I mean? And like we're trying to get refills on our drinks or something. We're trying to get, this guy's order's wrong, this guy's order, like everything got fucked up. And I
Yeah.
realize it's probably not the waiter's fault. But
Yeah.
like every time we talk to the waiter, it's just like he's turning up the attitude, and then he's just like you didn't even bring us our drinks or anything. And then finally I'm just like, separate bills, all this stuff. Because nobody else at the table wants to say shit. He's like, oh, fuck, separate bills. And he, like, storms off. I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, what can I do? And I was just like, there's no way I'm paying for this right now. Like, because, like, it was just built up to this point. And he comes up, and I was just like, oh, no, it wasn't till this. He comes back with the receipts, separate bills, and he goes, okay, who wants the receipts? And I put out my hand like this. He goes, okay, whatever. And he just threw it, and, like, they hit me in the face.
No way.
And that's when I was like, fuck it, I'm not paying for this. And this guy,
I was ready to pay for everyone's meal.
yeah.
I was like, I got it!
Needless to say, everybody ate for free.
Yeah.
I'm-
I would have.
I'm remembering a different time. We went out for breakfast at a place near my house called Symposium. We'll bury them because they were terrible. And they fucked up everything. But the waitress, she was like a 45-year-old mom. You could tell she just came back into the workforce.
Yeah.
Right? I don't know why I'm being that descriptive. It doesn't fucking matter.
You don't know that she just came back to the workforce.
Hey, I'm projecting, okay? I'm thinking that's what my mom did, so that's what she did too. But I remember they fucked up everything, but she was very nice. Right?
Yeah.
And I kept looking at Josh, and she was being so nice. Josh was just like, yeah, whatever. Like, people are having a bad day. And I remember they fucked up my waffles or something, or they forgot my waffles, and then I finally got them, and then she came over at the end and said, like, is everyone, or she said something. Right?
She didn't ask if everyone was
No,
done.
she didn't ask if
definitely
everyone
did
was
not
done. She's just like, how's everyone enjoying it? But this is like, we've been eating for a while. There's a lot of empty plates.
Yeah.
So I stopped eating because a woman is talking. And I kind of sat back and I said, everything's great, thank you. So she started collecting the plates, just put them on my waffles, and walked away.
What?
But I literally had just put my utensils down. I had like 3/4 of a waffle that we like asked her to get because she had forgotten.
Yeah.
And then Josh's face just went like, blood red mad. And I was like, you know what? I was done. I didn't want the waffles anymore. And he's like, no, fuck this. And like, very nice. He's just like, can we speak to your manager, please? And then she gets all stressed out, but the manager comes over. And Josh just lays everything out. Just be like, listen, you guys fucked up a lot. Everyone was nice, but like there was a lot of fuck ups. And now his meal is gone that he's waited for, that he didn't even get to eat. So he's like, okay. And then he comes back, and what was it? It was like $20 for 5 of us for the next time we visit. He's like, here's a coupon for $20 off your next meal for 5 of us. And Josh is like, that's fucking unacceptable, and we're leaving. And we had to squirm out of the booth and like nudge past him. I would still be there today if I didn't get the stink eye from him so bad. I was stressed to the max.
I forgot about that one.
Yeah.
I legit don't I'm the guy that's just like, yep, I'll eat it.
You can give me a shit sandwich, I'll be like, exactly what I ordered.
Here's pubes,
Yep.
great.
Yeah, no problem.
Like, we went to Chili's once, and Wes, like, I've known Wes my entire life.
Mm-hmm.
And Wes knows how I am. I'm the guy that will, like, literally bend over backwards for everybody.
Yep.
I will put myself out there 100%. You know what I mean? For everything. And we were at Chili's, and Chili's used to have this, like, it was like 2 entree meal where you could get 2 entrees, and like we used to go because we liked the ribs. So like we used to go get the 2 entree meal, but you would get a half a rack of ribs, so, like 2 of them, so you'd get a full rack, and then mashed potatoes and broccoli. Like it was easy. So I'm fucking eating my ribs. I have my ribs, and I'm fucking eating them, and then I start digging into my mashed potatoes. And sometimes like they'll leave the skin in the mashed potatoes. So I'm like eating, and I just see like something, and I'm just like, oh, okay. I'm not thinking, I'm just eating, and then I see like, it's probably just skin. And then I see green, and I'm like, it's just a weird potato. And I'm like eating, and then he just looks over, he goes, dude, you got a dirty old lime in your mashed potatoes. I was like, I don't think it's a lime. He's like, no, that is straight up just a lime from a drink in your mashed potatoes. And I was like, nah. And I'm like kicking it around. And he's like, dude, I'm gonna say something. And I was like, don't, dude, it's fine. I'll just pick it out, man. It's just a.
That would be me.
It's just
like, I asked for that. You didn't hear me.
It's just a dirty old lime, man. And then sure enough, Wes goes into full-on actor mode, and he's like, yo, hey, can we talk to a manager? And like the manager, because he's like, yo, man, this guy's a germ freak, man. There's a dirty old lime in his mashed potato. And he's just, I mean, the dude, and the guys, the waitress is like, wait, what? And he's like, I need a manager. Go get the manager. Manager comes over, he's like, yo, this guy's freaking out right now. And I'm just like, I'm freaking out, man. Like, just literally like, I'm freaking out, man. And he's like, he's free. He's like he has a germ freak. He's gonna freak out over this. He's probably gonna throw up all over the place. Blah blah blah. And the guy's like, "What can you get you?" And he's like, "We need 2 more racks." Like that.
That'll do it.
The guy brings us out 2 more racks of ribs and then gives us a $50 gift certificate.
That's how business.
And I literally
is done.
was just like, I didn't say a fucking
I wouldn't say
word.
No, I've never gotten a free thing in my life.
And I probably would have finished those. Like as she was taking it away, it's okay.
Yeah, I'll
still eat it, but just bring me the other.
I thought you were gonna say Band-Aid when you're talking.
No.
That's where I thought we were going. And then when you said green, I was like, I don't know. We took a left turn here, and I don't know where we're going.
It's just a dirty old drink line.
I'm more. It's for other people.
Yeah, very much.
If I find a hair on my pizza, I just throw the hair out.
People got hair.
Yeah.
Happens.
Like it's not gonna kill me.
No.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If there's a fly flying around my, just like, but like if it's other people, I'm just like, no, man.
No, you gotta say something. Yeah.
And I always assume I'm catching people on their worst day ever.
Yeah.
And that's always like my rationale. And it's just like, just let them have a break. But when you do that, you realize everybody is having their worst day ever when you meet them.
Yeah.
Like, you have to start taking all the blame. Stop taking all the blame for it. But
I worked security for this like electronic group when I was like younger, and they treated me like shit. They treated me and the merch girl like shit, and like their tour manager was kind of like part of their crew, and then they had like a light guy that was like had been touring them for a while, but me and the merch girl had just, we were like the new guys, and like they made us sit at other tables when we would like go eat. And I remember they had no idea that like my band was, every time I was probably like 3 times bigger than they were at the time. And I took the gig because I was home at the time, and then a buddy of mine like knew their tour manager, and they were like looking for like security to go, and he was just like, yo, you want to make quick money? And I was like, yeah, how many shows? He's like, 12 shows. I was like, all right, I need $3,000. He was like, okay.
done.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Where do I need to be? Macon, Georgia. Okay, great. But I remember we were like sitting, and this lady, I just felt miserable. Like just the way I was getting treated, like felt miserable. And these guys were like, I'm looking over, and they're eating like fucking the all-you-can-eat salads. You know what I mean? Like they're penny pinching.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, well, I just took $3,000 from them.
Yeah.
So I'm good.
I'm gonna eat.
And I just like this day, I was like, hey. And I like remember this waitress having a terrible day. And this isn't to put me over. It was just basically just a shit on them.
Yep.
I was like, do you want to make $100 today? And she goes, yeah. I'm like, just be nice to me.
Yeah.
And she was like, she goes, okay. And literally it was like every single like 2 seconds she wouldn't go talk to them. She'd come over to us and be like, hey, do you guys need anything? Yeah. Can I could use like a little
I
more.
can use more lime, please.
Yeah. And like, you know, she was doing that. And then like, I remember we paid me and Melanie, or Monkey Bird, she from other stories with Oliver Peck, but we had like all these dollar bills, and then I put the 100 like right in the middle, and I handed it to the chick, and then she went like this, and then instantly started crying.
Wow.
And the dudes didn't know what the fuck was going on, blah, blah. And I remember her going like, why did you give me $100? I was like, oh, I just took 3,000 from these dickheads. So like, you can have 100 of it. And they were just like head down.
That's
I just
good.
walked out and said, fuck it. And that was like probably the coolest eating experience I think I've ever had.
Have you ever done the pay it forward? Like,
no,
drive-through
dude.
line? That's huge in Canada right now.
Really?
Yeah, it's but Tim Hortons, for whatever
Yeah,
reason,
yeah.
it just caught on. And like, I'll do it. It happens to me a lot.
Yeah.
I get McDonald's coffee every morning. It happens to me, like, I want to say...
Like you're in the drive-thru, and then the person ahead of you pays.
Yeah,
Oh,
and
that's
I
sick.
just get there, and the guy's like, yeah, there's no cost, the guy ahead of you paid. And I just order a large black coffee. It's $1.98, right?
Yeah.
But they don't know that.
Yeah.
Right? So I'm always like, if somebody pays it forward, you pay it forward. It's in the name.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever paid it forward when it's less than $13.
Yeah.
That's like 2 weeks of coffee for me.
Yeah.
And I just bite my fucking tongue and bear it, but like, I love doing little shit like that.
Yeah,
it
it's
makes
great.
me feel like, because I'm a big believer in karma, and
Yeah.
that's kind of selfish as well, I feel, because I guess in my head I feel like I'm doing something good, so I'm going to get something good. I don't
Yeah.
want to think like that. It's more so, if I do something bad, I'm going to get
Of course.
something
Yeah,
bad.
yeah.
Right? But yeah, that's huge in Canada, and I love how much I see it like literally 3 times a month.
Yeah.
It's sweet.
The band it was probably at the worst time we flipped our van. We were like in I don't know where we were. One of the worst states. What fucking state was it? It's so
I'm not gonna start
bad
naming states.
that I forgot it. But anyways, we were in a terrible, terrible part of the world, which I don't know why I'm blanking right now. But anyways, we crashed our van.
Quebec.
It was in Quebec. I
There
did
we
get
go.
chased. I got chased out of a venue once by a baseball bat in 1998 in Quebec City.
Jesus.
But yeah, so we ended up like flipping our van in Wyoming. That's where it
Wyoming.
was. And we flipped it twice. So it was 1, 2, you know. And like I had a concussion. I had a chip out of my elbow. Like our drummer at the time had gotten like pressed under things, but not like fucked up. And it was Rat Boy. So like Rat Boy is like the biggest like anxiety ridden human being. And just that alone shook him. And I remember he couldn't like the next day we were like, all right, got to get in the van. Like none of us were like
Yeah.
shook. I was like,
Here we go.
We got to get a new van. We got to get moving. Like blah blah. Like the show must go on. And I remember that. Like we were literally down and out. Like van was gone, trailer splayed wide open. All of our merch or all of our gear was all over the highway.
Ugh.
like shit like that. Only one thing broken. It was like
That's
weird,
good.
like out of all the stuff that we had. And then I remember the only place there was a Mexican restaurant and a Pizza Hut, and that was it. Wherever we
They
were,
go hand in hand typically.
yeah.
Why
So it was like, okay, today we're gonna do lunch at the Mexican place. Then we'll do dinner at Pizza Hut. Then tomorrow we did lunch in the Pizza Hut, dinner at the, But I remember we were at the Pizza Hut, and there was, 8 of us. Like, that's what we usually tour with. And, like, some woman, like, paid for all of us.
That's the
Like, at, like, the worst time.
when
know
you
what I mean?
most needed something
Yeah,
like that.
yeah. It's just like, and it's Pizza Hut. You're
Yeah.
like, oh, cool.
Yeah, I've had Pizza Hut twice in my life because I can't afford it.
Yeah.
Like stuffed crust. It's what I have in my fucking honeymoon.
Yeah.
Like, I can't imagine.
Yeah.
It's so fucking expensive.
I had a guy. I was like 22. Like I've been on my own since I was 18.
Yeah.
And I started wrestling when I was 18, and pretty much all I was doing was pawning DVDs and
Of course.
GameCubes and whatever to get gas money to get to shows or
Yeah.
whatever else I was doing.
Did you backyard, too?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. I'm like, I don't think
He's
our...
got an interesting backyard. So.
I can't say my era because I'm still about 15 years ahead of you guys, like in life. But like 95, I started backyarding in 95.
Yeah, then you're backyarding like
I backyarded as I
Rick
was
Martel
training.
matches.
I remember like at that time though, like fuck man, 95 was like Eddie, Chris Benoit, Jericho, like
ECW.
all those. All we wanted to do was all that
Super
shit.
J Cup.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and you're just hurting yourself nonstop. Yeah.
Well, anyway,
Yeah, sorry.
starving professional wrestler, and I remember I was going through the grocery store, and like I'd always keep my groceries to like $50.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, oh yeah, I check my bank, and like at the time I don't think I could even check my bank on a computer.
Yeah.
And I went through and
call.
it just kept insufficient funds. I'm like, oh no, I must have done something wrong. Try it again.
Yeah.
And I'm like, insufficient funds, and like I'm just like, and like I really needed this food. It was all
Yeah.
I had, and this guy behind me is just like, you know what, man, I got it. And I was just like, no, it'll work. And he's just like, I know, I get it, it's fine.
Yeah.
Just like
That's so sick.
I was 20 once
Oh,
too,
dude.
you know, and he had paid for me, and I was just like, oh damn. And like remember I got to the car and I was just like all tearing up and being all weird, and then I ended up paying for a lady's groceries like maybe 4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When like
Do
the
what
same
you
thing
can.
happened to her, and I was just
Yeah.
like, and like I'm not gonna be like she didn't have $200 worth of shit. Like,
course.
it was like $35.
Yeah.
I'm like, sweet. If it was $200, I'd be like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
this would be a good time.
Only got cash today, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I see that stuff sometimes.
You
It's
have
crazy.
to, man.
Yeah.
Like,
Put your
that's-
faith back in humanity when you see people do nice things.
Yeah, like yesterday, I don't know if it was yesterday some dude came to the door and he was like saying that he lost his kid 3 years ago to like cancer. And he was like, hey, I go around, I do this every year for St. Jude, blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like, this guy could be fucking pulling my leg, but there's a chance that he can't.
Yeah, exactly.
Here's $20.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and
And what are you gonna spend that $20 on? Fucking Pizza Hut? You know what I mean? Like I always think of that a lot too. Like if I have cash, yet again, this has become a put over podcast, and I don't mean it. To
yeah,
be,
we're just putting
But
ourselves
like
over. It's fine.
I'm very like if I have any cash and I see a homeless person, they get it, and my rationale isn't so much I'm being a nice guy. It's just like this is keeping unnecessary sugars out of my body.
Yeah.
That's all it is. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Because like. I'm gonna buy that donut with the coffee
Yeah.
because I have an extra 85
Yeah,
cents.
yeah.
You know what I
I've
mean? Whatever
always-
it may be.
Since I've been a kid, though, I've always been the guy that if I have $2, like everyone has a percentage.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I'm just that's the type of person I am. And it sucks because like, I'm 40 and I do like, well, with the band and stuff like that. So like when I'm home and like Danny and Puff and all those dudes want to like go do something and they're like, oh man, I'm, like Danny's in college.
Yeah.
Puff is trying
No
to
one's
like
got tons of
wrestle
money.
everywhere. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And shit like that. And it's just like, the first couple times they were kind of like, come on, man, you don't have to do that. And now it's just like, guys, like if it's past 6:00 and I'm asking you guys to go do something, I'm asking you guys to go do something.
Yeah.
It's not meaning like, hey guys, like just come with me. We're
Yeah.
going to go to the movies. We're going to do shit together and it's going to be fine.
Well, that's what they say anyways. You should don't spend your money on things, spend your money on experiences anyways.
Yeah.
Right? So, like, it is much more fulfilling.
Yeah. And I'm 40. I don't know if I'm going to have kids.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like, okay, I'll take a Danny Garcia.
Yeah.
I'll take a Puff. You know what I mean? I'll take a
infant.
Kevin Bennett. I'll take a Kevin Blackwood. You know what I mean?
Yeah. One thing to really get this podcast trashy, I want to go back to a conversation we had the same night.
Oh boy, I'm
when we went to the
scared now.
movies.
Yeah.
It was just me and you in the car, and we were talking, and I've been beating myself up about it.
Okay.
Because we were talking about, I don't even know
This is over
who
a
the
year ago?
reference
I'm
was.
scared
It was
now.
in December. No, it was
I'm
in December.
scared now.
Oh, nearly
No,
a year.
it was like, no, it's not. I pussied out. I didn't stand my ground. We were talking about like how you can date a girl and do absolutely filthy things to her, but you won't marry her because you don't want that girl being like your wife and the mother to your kids. And I was
Yeah.
like, yeah, man, totally agree. I don't agree at all. I gotta say it right now. It's been bothering me because I just went with it because I'm like, I'm in his car, you know, he's treating me nice all day, but I think I want a dirty whore as a wife, you know, in my own bedroom, right?
Yeah.
Because if you have those fantasies, like I understand both sides of the coin here, but
Yeah.
I just wouldn't want to be like 45 and be like, wow, I want to play you like a sock puppet, but my 18-year-old girlfriend's the only one that let me do that.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, things have changed.
Yeah, oh,
You know what I
absolutely.
mean? Since then. So
Yeah.
now it's like I'm completely happy with Hannah. And like, you know what I mean? And
Oh,
like,
yeah.
when it comes to that, it's like she's everything. You
But
know what
I get
mean?
it, though,
To
because
me.
people are like, I don't want the mother of my kids being the one I turn inside out every Wednesday. Like, I
Yeah.
get it. But, like, the kids don't gotta know. You know, like, for all
For
I
sure.
know, my parents are swingers. And I hope they are if they're happy. You know, and I hope that, like, I'm fucked up, and I'm sure genetically that came from someone.
Yeah.
Right? You know what I mean? So, like, I know my dad is into some wild-ass shit, because
Yeah.
I am.
Yeah.
Right? So,
Yeah.
God bless him.
From a child of two like divorces whose mother was just like miserable in both her relationships.
Yeah.
I think I would rather that like I grew up knowing like, you know,
She's getting it on.
yeah,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like
It's
sure.
gross when you're younger.
Now that I'm older, I'm
Yeah.
like, well, fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like like now I guess like yesterday I was with my parents and my she was talking about a woman at work and a guy at work and they were having like kind of an altercation over something and she's like, he came on my face and I was like, Mom, don't say that. Like just and she goes, oh fuck, I didn't realize it. I was like, yeah, like no man came on your face. And then I just like looked at my dad and I was like, don't even say shit
Yeah.
right now. Like don't say a word. Like we're already there.
That's
Don't
the
say a
best.
word.
I remember whenever my parents would order Chinese food when I was really young, I'd always say like, hey, make sure to get the cream with some young guy, not even knowing what it meant.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Not even knowing. I just heard it on Wayne's World, right?
Yeah.
And I knew it made my dad laugh when I watched it.
Yeah.
Right? So it was like, boom, I'm going to hit that
Oh,
note
yeah.
every time. And then I
That's
kind
your
of got an
go-to, yeah.
idea what it was. And then I remember my mom, like, she hangs up the phone after she puts in the order. She takes me out of the room where my dad and my brother are. She's like, do you know what that is, what you're saying? And, like, I guess it all clicked. And I go, is it cum? And she goes, I was going to say semen, but yeah. And I was like 11.
wow.
11.
Yeah.
And, like, that was the moment I was just like, ah, gross.
That's
My
the
mom
one
knows I'm a
thing
deviant.
that's wild about you
What?
is that you came up in like a
Picture perfect.
a total internet porn
Yeah.
life.
Yep.
Oh, you have
Right?
No idea.
Yeah.
I mean, when I first started jerking off, I mean, there were like prints on there would be like a print in like wallpaper that looked like tits, and you'd be like,
You go
oh,
for it.
fuck. All right, here, I got to get this out right now. Kind of looks like Dolly Parton's tits. Holy shit.
Well, I was texting you the other day. I rewatched True Lies with my girlfriend because she hates Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah.
So I'm making her watch all the greatest
Yeah.
hits. And Jamie Lee Curtis in that strip club scene, I came down here in this very chair,
In the hotel room?
cranked one, yeah,
Yeah.
and watched that scene because like
so
I'm like
awesome.
regressing now, where it's just like you've seen everything on the internet. Now, kind of like still pictures and like clothed women are like doing the deed for me.
Yeah.
And that scene, I was just like, it's hitting all the right notes right now.
Yeah.
You know, like, oh, it was good.
Yesterday, Hannah and I had a conversation. If she listens to this podcast,
It's only gonna get worse, so turn it off
He's
right
gonna-
now.
yeah.
The Pandora's box is open.
she was like, oh, I'd really like to watch like porn with you just to see what you were like watching.
No, you don't.
And I was like right now? This morning, it was like, I watched like a 48-year-old woman that looked like a 48-year-old woman, not a 48-year-old porn woman.
No.
and she was like fully clothed, like that type of thing. And it was just like that, like, Hannah, like this does not come back to you at all.
No, it has nothing to do with you.
This is just me alone in my little box.
Yeah.
Where I jerk off.
Yeah, this is a solo thing.
Yeah,
there's no emotion.
And like you're gonna watch that with me, and then you're gonna immediately equate it to yourself.
Yeah,
and it has nothing to do with that at all.
For years, I didn't use incognito mode.
Yeah,
and my girlfriend would check my history because she knew I was a fucking deviant, and she'd like to see what I watched.
Yeah,
like she used to do it to be cute.
Yeah,
right.
Oh, and then it just probably turned into a thing, like like a science experiment.
Because like I also don't like porn stars are great, but they don't really do the deed. Yeah, like I can't relate. It's all an act, right? I almost like two ugly fucking people going at it at this point. Bad lighting, like fucking just rolls all over the place. Like that almost does it better than me. And then she'll see that and exactly what you said, equate it to herself and be like, "Is that what he's missing?" I'm like, no, it's not what I'm missing at all. Just at this moment at 2:30 in the morning.
That's what I mean.
Like
it's
I was just like, this is hitting the spot.
Yeah, and it's like that's if you do that, we're gonna watch porn. Like, what did you watch this morning? And then I'm gonna be like, I watched Fake Taxi, a weird British woman.
I knew a girl on it once.
Really?
Veronica Weiss.
Whoa.
She was a manager at a union show.
Yeah, I met her.
Remember? Yeah.
She wanted to fuck Psycho Mike Rollins real bad.
Oh. And then I found her on Fake Taxi.
Shocker.
Dude, I cranked to that video more times than hands are in this fucking...
Yeah.
Or fingers are
There
in this
was a woman that was on Rock of Love. Was that's the one with Bret Michaels, right? Yeah. She was on Rock of Love. She's from Buffalo. But she used to be on this website, like a local Buffalo porn site called amateurfacials.com.
Oh, God bless her.
And I used to be like, oh my God. Like, she was a bartender. Like, you know what I mean? Like, yeah. And that used to be real weird.
Like, my new thing.
And I think she, like, married one of our friends.
Really? Get some photos. Like, my new thing is, I was into cop porn for the longest time, like CAUGHT. I think I talked about this last time.
Yeah.
Like, I'm still into it.
Yeah.
But, like all things, we evolve. Have you ever been on, like, Czech Fantasy?
No.
It's like the wooded walls, and you know what a glory hole. We've all had
course.
that.
Oh, this is that fucking.
The girls just bent over in the glory hole.
It's a glory hole with their ass sticking out.
Dude,
or legs just up in the air.
Unreal. I don't know if it's the wood paneling or the fucking white as shit women in it, but like that's been hitting the spot for the last while too. And then, dude, I cranked one out to just a massage. There was no happy ending.
It's just like a woman giving a massage?
A woman giving a massage. Towel never left. It was a back massage, and I was just anticipating the turnover so much.
Yeah.
I never made it.
It
might have gotten to the kinkiest shit I've ever seen. I didn't even scroll, because as soon as you finish, you're fucking disgusted.
Oh, I know.
Right?
Yeah, that happens all the time. I can't watch anything.
As you get older,
the
disgust in yourself heightens the older you get. Because, like, when I was a kid, I remember right when I first started cranking out, as soon as I finished, I think about my mom.
Okay.
Yeah,
this
that would be the thing.
Taking a
that would be the thing.
Right.
And guilt. Yeah, that was the thing.
There you go.
And then I just didn't care for years. And I was like, who gives a fuck? Yeah. And now it's like, I don't know what I think. I'm just like, what am I doing with my life? Like, people are out there making money, providing for significant others, and I'm sitting here ass naked, just
That's like the one thing too is like now that I do have a woman that I do love, Hannah, I have to just let you know that.
Oh my God!
Like I instantly think like she's at work right now.
Yeah, exactly.
She's literally at work busting her ass, and I'm busting a nut to like something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and it always is like I literally go to like YouPorn, and it's like
sorry, keep going. I know the website you guys were talking about last.
FUQ.
Yeah, I've been on it for a long time.
Yeah, I still haven't.
Oops porn.
Another one of my favorites.
What was
just
that?
bloopers.
Oh, bloopers used to be my thing when I was a kid.
Bloopers are big.
Yeah.
And then there's another category I found, and it's just behind the scenes.
Oh, okay.
So it would just be like when two actors, like for whatever reason, if they got to change lighting, sometimes the actors will just keep going.
Oh yeah.
Right, and like I don't know what it is, but like now it's real, right? And I'm just like, oh yeah. Oh yeah.
The only time I've ever seen behind the scenes thing, it's like they're changing the lighting, and it's just a dude cranking off and like a chick drinking water.
Yeah.
And I'm just
the
like,
girl's always totally uninvolved.
fuck, man. Like, I don't want to know how the sausage is made. You know what I mean?
No, not at all. I remember when I used to be like, oh my god, I can't see that fucking penis. Now it's like, I need a girthy fat one in a scene before it does anything for me.
Yeah.
You know, like, I need some penetration. Lesbians are sweet, but like, I've never had that. Never experienced that. I'm never gonna be a lesbian.
I remember like on my second or third date, my now wife, she was just like, I was like, yeah, you watch porn. Come on, tell me what it is. Because we used to talk about porn on my podcast that she listened to all the time. And she was like, you know, it's too freaky. Like, I don't want to tell you and all this stuff. And she fucking built it up for like ever. And by the time she tells me, I was just like,
Yeah.
okay,
It was
cool.
just like,
have you heard of Dancing Bear?
Yeah.
You know
It's
what I mean?
really cool.
Yeah, I like Missionary with the lights off when they get that's really good.
Oh man,
I like the grainier the footage. Like, the worse webcam you have,
you
my
might.
favorite.
Yo, do this.
Like,
Go back and find the first porno you ever jerked off to,
I can't.
and bring it back now.
I've looked for it a lot.
I'm trying to think.
The first photo I ever downloaded off like Kaza.
Yeah.
That like worked
Yeah,
for
yeah,
me.
yeah.
I've been looking for that for years.
I
can't even think.
saw a still shot of the fucking first porno I ever jerked off to. My dad had, and I said this on another podcast, that it was Educating Nina, and it was Nina Hartley. He owned that one, but he had another porno, and the only actor I know from it was Joey Silvera. Was in it, and it was like really creepy. And I remember the music from it was like a disco version of Spinning Wheel by whatever band, Blood, Sweat and Tears. So it was like and there was like a black dude with a huge prick on it.
God bless him.
And I don't remember any of the women in it. I just remember Joey Silvera because he had a mustache. And I saw the still shot, and it was Joey Silvera looking through this little window at a couple banging.
Can it just bring you back?
And that, I was like, dude, that was the first movie I ever jerked off to. It was like definitely from the 70s. So now I have to go through Joey Silvera's thing and find it and see if I can find still shots. Because I remember like the first time I ever had like that first tug sesh where you were like, well, this is my
Something's changing.
This is my whole life.
Yeah.
Like, you know, and I jerked off before that.
Yeah.
But I remember it was Devil and Miss Jones 3. And it was this woman with blonde hair. She had like spiky blonde hair that I then found out her last name is Ayers. Ayers. And I remember finding that and then remember like watching the scenes and instantly getting that same boner.
Oh.
Like I was like, oh my, like, but in my 30s, like a 37-year-old, like 16-year-old boner. And it was wild.
It's a remembrance boner right there.
It was great, dude.
Yeah, I can remember like the first movie. It was like I think it was Boogie Nights.
Oh,
I was in like grade 5.
What, Heather Graham, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
I don't know which first movie.
Skate Girl.
I figured I remember I had polysporin for like a cut, and like I was watching
Like
this
where this
movie.
is going.
I put it on my cut, and for some reason I touched my dick. I was like, "What the fuck is that?"
Oh, that's strange.
What?
Yeah,
It's hot and cold.
And my life's never been the same.
yeah.
Since, so.
Yeah.
It's a weird thing. Like, Josh is the first guy that introduced me to E-Fuck, too.
Oh,
Yeah.
E-Fucked is great.
Which is still, like, one of my favorites, but, like, they upload something new every 8 weeks, so you have to go, like, 4 years without checking it. To
Yeah.
Get
Well,
anything
you
new.
can get in the rotation to the other ones.
Yeah, but, like, that's a good one. But, like, there's a lot of poo-poo in that one, and
Yeah.
poo-poo takes me right out. Like, I'm into a lot of wild stuff.
Girls don't poop.
Yeah, I still, like, when me and my girlfriend, like,
Yeah.
her especially, if she's got to take a dump, she's, like, fucking Tom Cruise in Mission Impossible. Like, hanging from the ceiling. Like, I don't want to know about it. I know what
I
happens.
honestly
like my
don't.
parents banging.
I don't know if Hannah poops.
She doesn't. If, if she hasn't given you proof, she don't.
And we've been together for a while. We've been together for almost a year, I
That's
think,
good.
at this point. And like, I still feel weird being like, I gotta go poop.
Yeah.
Like, I don't. I just go like, I'll see ya.
Yeah.
And then
I'll
I just
drive.
kind of disappear and poop.
I'm a power pooper, so it's not so bad. I can almost say I'm going to pee, but I never shut the door when I pee. So
Yeah.
sometimes I'll risk, like, if she's, like,
Wait,
upstairs.
how long have you guys been together?
7 years.
Hannah and I have been together for like 7 months.
Yeah,
and I'm like,
7 years, yeah. Like, I'm a stickler on poo-poo for whatever reason.
Not one door in my house shuts ever for either of us.
That's the... Oh.
Yeah, but you also have like
Kids.
2 kids
I
running
think
around.
kids
Yeah.
open up the caca door a little bit, because when you're wiping their butt, like, I don't know. I guess that doesn't work. I have 2 dogs. Sometimes they got shit on their ass. So
I was at a buffet 2 weeks ago, man, and something I ate didn't sit right.
Yeah.
I had to take a shit, like a serious, like my stomach hurts, little tummy ache thing. Ran, got in the stall. All of a sudden, who crawls underneath the stall but my son?
Yeah.
And I'm like mid shit. He's just like crawling on the stall with 2 legs. I'm like, all right, just
you don't want to see this.
standing there, and he's just like he's commentating for it.
Yeah.
And everybody outside is taking a leak. He's like, Daddy, what are you doing? Why is it making so much noise?
Daddy, why is the temperature getting warmer?
The thing is, though, is like kids kind of just break down all those walls.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So like you're kind of like, I mean, not that I know firsthand,
No, yeah.
but I do have a 23-year-old nephew
Yeah.
who at one point in time used to shit all over me.
Yeah, like, I don't know, it creeps me right out. Like,
You
I have reason. Like, I like to dine in that department
Okay.
once in a while.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Sometimes I like being dined on.
Yeah.
Right? Absolutely.
Yeah.
honestly, his openness with all this stuff made my life so much easier.
Yeah.
Because like I never used to discuss this stuff. Then he.
But if it's out in the
just
open-
like, I was just like, yeah, okay. If he's okay with it, I'm okay with it.
I take
Yeah,
I take
yeah.
the Jim Norton route. If you like, I have no skeletons in my closet or anything really.
Yeah.
And like, even if I did, I think I'd just kind of let everyone know, because as soon as you put it out there, it can't be held against you.
Of course.
I'm just gonna own whatever it is, and
But I met you when you were 15.
yeah, I've been a deviant for a long time.
You were the nerdiest, dorkiest, skinny fat dude. Like, there's
Still
no
there.
way you were like the Channing Decker, Daniel Garcia,
No, never.
like handsome dude
Yeah, of
at high
course.
school. You know what I mean?
Thanks, man.
But you've always had way more confidence than anybody I've ever known. And for a guy like me who has zero confidence,
Yeah.
Well, I think being friends with Paige growing up helped.
yeah, okay, yeah, he has no idea how not to be confident.
Like,
Yeah.
if I'm not, if I'm confident, he's a different level, and I don't even think I'm that confident. I'm just.
Did you
I'm
guys go
willing
to high school together?
Yeah,
Yeah.
elementary school and high school.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, we
you guys
backyarded together.
Okay. And then how did you come in? When
I just started wrestling.
Yeah.
like that was it.
I first day of training, I was 18. They were like 15. all
And
of
you
them.
guys all trained together.
Yeah.
For the first year,
Where was that at?
In a garage in
not far from here.
yeah,
Yeah.
it was literally a little fucking garage just up right where we ate, like
Yeah.
down the fucking street, and it's like, you know, like those units of garages,
Yeah.
not storage units, but like it's just
Where you would
garage.
have a mechanic shop.
Yeah, exactly.
What was it? What was the name?
It was called Living Legends Wrestling Academy.
Who did it?
Ernie Moore and Ricky Stardust. They
Okay.
did. Ernie Moore did some stuff like literally before tapes
Yeah.
were around. So like his stuff's impossible to find. And Ricky Stardust, he was really just a local guy. Didn't
Yeah.
really do much. I don't even know how great
He was
he was
part
locally.
of the Bob Woods thing, if you ever knew.
Yeah,
about that.
Yeah, exactly. And it was just essentially you were paying for ring time,
Yeah.
right? And then once we got a few decent guys in there, like backyard wrestling helps 100%.
Of course.
And a few guys, and once you get a few guys in there that kind of can put some things together, like they taught us how to bump and hit the ropes and whatnot, like the bare basics. And then it was really just left to us. And then like me and Bruno and Josh and a few others, we'd see stuff, want to try it, and we understood the mechanics of it all, and we just would do it.
Yeah.
You know?
So how young is Bruno your age?
Bruno, he's like,
I think you're all the same age.
yeah, he's like, I'm December, so I'm like a year younger when you're close to the end of the year.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But yeah, I think he's turning 29 this year. Paige is turning 29, I think, tomorrow. Right?
Yeah.
Thanks for the reminder.
Yeah.
I usually
September
wait for-
20th.
I usually wait for Facebook.
I only remember because it's
prompt
3
me on
months
these
before
things.
me. But yeah, and then it's also Monkey's birthday tomorrow.
Yeah.
I was like, someone was like, when I explain like Canadian wrestling to people about how insane our area is, like Brody doesn't know, like Nate, he's just like, Nate said this to me before, and this isn't throwing Nate under the bus, but he would just be like, I don't understand the concept of going and learning wrestling shitty shows. But he's from California, where there's only like 5 shows. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
they have smaller shows, but not really small shows.
Yeah.
We're like, with us out here, there's so, like, in our area, like, meaning just Western New York and this run of the QEW.
Yeah. You can hit a ton.
Holy fuck.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
there's so much fucking wrestling. And, like, to think that it's like, when you name those names, like, you're just like, Ethan Page, Josh Alexander, Hacker Scotty O'Shea, Tyson Dukes, and you can just keep going.
Yeah, there's quite a few.
And it just keeps going, and you're just like, oh, okay, yeah. And it's like, you can say shitty wrestling, but like these dudes came up cutting teeth together. They were probably wrestling each other nonstop.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where like, it's not like me wrestling fucking, Johnny Ham and Egg.
Yeah.
Wherever the fuck. That's with Brody. Like he was just like, wait, what? All those dudes are from the same area. It was like within like 15 minutes.
And like really, you can add. I don't want to say they're a generation
You're talking about
higher than us.
Who?
Like Seb's in there, Brent's in there, Tarek's in
Well, that's
there.
what I'm saying.
They started after us.
Sorry, that's what I meant. That's what I meant. Like I don't know if we're a generation.
They were like 2 years, a year or two.
Yeah.
Behind us.
Yeah.
It's all the
But
same.
But
basic-
still,
we're the guys that didn't quit. We're the guys that persisted. And
Yeah. And
if
really,
you just think about it, like write that down on paper and then just look at it and go, oh, fuck.
yeah,
It's a little different.
It's just, I kind of take pride in, when we started, we wrestled a style that we liked. That's all we did. Like,
Yeah.
we didn't wrestle a Memphis style because that's not what we wanted to do. We wrestled the Ring of Honor style.
Yep.
And we got a lot of heat for it for years. Like, years.
Yeah.
And now it's kind of nice that that's the style we did, purely because we were marks, right? And we like to challenge ourselves and whatnot. But that's the style now. And then so many of the vets that were like, no, that's wrong, don't do this, blah, blah, blah. And we're just trying to have easy nights, night after night. Now they've either all left or they're still struggling to get there, right? And they used to give us so much shit. And it was just like, just leave us alone. It's not that you're like, your whole show is this style.
Yeah.
It's just when you book me and Josh, we're friends. We like this style. You know we like this style, so this is what we're going to do. And we're going to do it. And we used to just get so much shit.
The thing that's crazy, though, is like now, just me being a mark, as I have always been. And I'm kind of like, what's the Marvel character that the Watcher? Yatu? Yeah, right?
Yeah.
I'm kind of Yatu because I'm older than all
Is
you
that
guys.
the Doctor Strange buddy?
That's the guy that just hangs out on the moon. The Watcher.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, and I kind of just like watch you. Well, I've watched from an outside thing, and I mean, I started training at RWA, which is Renegade Wrestling Association.
Oh, yeah.
I missed Tyson by like 2 weeks, 3 weeks, because I tore my ACL.
Really?
Yeah.
Wait, so when was that? Was that like
97.
Jesus.
Sweet Steve Hart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's like when, I think it was HWF, Hardcore Wrestling Federation. That was huge
The one
around
in
here,
London?
too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there was, I mean, at that time there was like La Artiste.
Yeah.
That guy was there.
Dave Linton, I fucking love that guy.
Quinton Valentino.
Yeah. And that was like right when I was training at that time, and then I tore my ACL and started a band.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I think it worked out.
Yeah, I was going to say, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that was for the best. It's the best injury you've ever had.
Yeah.
Well, we could
Silver
say that,
lining.
but then,
Who knows?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I might.
You could be Braun Strowman right now.
Yeah, they just WWE's just salivating for a 3-year vet of 40 years old. But yeah, like that again. Going back to like fucking Cody Deaner, Sean Spears, Bobby Roode.
Yep.
Like all generated from this area, which is fucking crazy.
Like
it's fucking crazy.
There's no doubt. There's
what
a ton of
generation
people.
were they? Were they ahead
They
of
were
you guys?
before us.
They were
Okay.
4 or 5 years ahead of us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, I was 2005, so.
That's so crazy, man.
Yeah.
Like all in one stretch of highway.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah.
I remember like when I first started, I didn't even really know what indie wrestling was. I had been to an indie wrestling show before, but I thought I caught the only one in existence type deal.
Yeah.
Like, internet, like, I probably went to my first indie show in like 2002. I'm sure we had the internet, but like it wasn't easy access to find. Just like you can't just Google like
Of course.
and if you could, I was 12. I didn't fucking know.
Yeah.
And I remember my trainer Ricky Stardust like talking like if we had one show a month, it was a pretty good month. Never mind like 2 to 3 shows a weekend and whatnot. And now like it's in this 50-mile radius, you can hit up 3 shows a month. 3 shows a weekend, sorry.
It's crazy.
My first year, well, I counted in 2006, I had over 100 matches.
Yeah.
And, like, if you're talking about, like, Brody saying, like, shitty shows or whatever, the fucking 90% of those were in front of 5 to 30 people.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And I credit a lot. If you can work 5 to 30 people and make them, like, actually interested, fucking 250 to 500
Of course.
is easy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
And like I said, that's not throwing him under the bus.
No,
it's just like
it's just his experience.
California is
It's a different
an
world.
island.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Essentially, I don't know if there's wrestling in Arizona, New Mexico. I know there's Nevada.
Yeah.
Stuff like that, but like
Very little in Nevada though.
Yeah.
Like, you're not going to drive up
Yeah.
from California.
But
like,
think of those think of like the Bucks and stuff like that. Like they had to literally get plane tickets
Everywhere.
everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why they started promoting their own shows. And
Yeah.
that's kind of what we did. Like we always had, like we were a little young, but we always had an older friend that we could either convince to promote a show
Yeah.
or already was like thinking about it and we could like give them the final push.
Yeah.
Right? But like in that little gym where we trained, they'd run student shows and
Yep.
then there'd be like 2 or 3 companies that would rent it out. So like I remember leaving high school, going to this gym down the street from my house to work a show that Kevin Nash, AJ Styles, Raven, and Christopher Daniels were all on.
Jesus.
Like, and I was just on the show. I was 16 years old, and like,
Yeah.
and then
that's
the next day we had another show in that same building. Like, it was awesome.
Was that wasn't UWA though.
No, UWA was running the same point. UWA is a universe of their.
Yeah.
none of us ever touched UWA.
You guys never did.
No.
Oh wow. So who was working there then?
Rip
I mean, I know-
Impact.
Okay. Yeah.
Like there was a Hamilton crew, but they kind of had. They had some kind of in with UWA already.
Yeah.
We were wrestling with all those guys, but they kind of just they snatched 5 or 6 of them and was like, "That's
Yeah.
all we need."
Well,
They
they-
always kind of had their tight roster, but like that was always a spot. It was UWA ran on Friday nights. I always went with my dad. I knew I see Josh there. I knew I see Alex there. I'd
Yeah.
see like 4 of the other guys. We'd watch this show in awe, want to get on it, and then Saturday morning practice, we'd just try everything we just saw.
Yeah.
That's how it was for years.
And who were like your guys? You had to have like a UWA guy that like no one's ever heard of. I mean, we probably heard of him, but like people listening might probably.
Christopher Bishop. I was
Yeah.
a huge Christopher Bishop fan. Lionel Knight.
I've always been a Lionel dude.
Yeah,
I
Lionel
still
Knight.
think Lionel's
And he-
Lionel's still
That
underrated.
was like crazy to me. Like the first, like that mystery show last year, Lionel was on it, and I was like, oh my god.
He's
and he was like the
unbelievable.
coolest dude. He was
He's-
like super rad.
He's the most talented wrestler that's literally done nothing.
Yeah.
Like just because he's so content, just
Yeah.
doing whatever. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah.
But like I've told him, I was just like, you were good at everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I've called like a 30-minute match with the guy, and
Yeah.
I'm just like, that was easy. Like,
Yeah.
Come on.
And I it might have changed now, but for years, like up until 2 years ago, he never lifted a weight. Always looked great.
Yeah.
He's got that black genetic
Yeah,
fucking
yeah.
makeup. Like he's the best. He's charismatic. I can't say nothing.
Yeah.
But
I
everyone
like
loves
that
him.
was like I remember too like freaking out over it was like that mystery show like I went and I think Blackwood had wrestled Mason Carter
Carter Mason.
Carter Mason, yeah, and the match was like great. And then like Lionel was on the show, Shane Saber was on the show, like all these like heavy hitters that like are like to this area.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mason's actually was in our class type deal.
Yeah.
He was right there with us. He's been around a long time as well.
Yeah. But that was like, yeah, that Lionel's like, said right. Yo, what was going on? You like were doing these like 1 hour matches. There was like a point.
I want to do 1 hour matches every show.
Yeah.
I do.
That was like insane. Like there was like 3 weeks in a row where you had like 1 hour matches, like 3 weeks in a row. And like, what was the first one that you did? It was like,
Was it Kobe?
Yeah, Kobe was
Yeah.
in February. We did 60.
yeah.
And then I got another one with Carter Mason booked in Barry. And I've done like probably 4 or 5 40-plus
So
minutes.
insane, man.
I just
nuts.
wanted, like, I remember Brian Danielson doing all these hour-long matches in Ring of Honor
Yeah.
in like 2004 or 5.
Yeah.
And I was just like, fuck it, I want to try this. I want to see what it's like. I want to make
Yeah.
this my thing. Like, I don't care. I'll wrestle for an hour.
Yeah.
And like, I did it the first time with Kobe, and I was like, that was fucking easy, man.
Did you
Like,
have the crowd the whole time?
for like that, it's a small town.
Of course.
And like, you know, but I think we had them the whole time.
That's so cool, man.
But it was a very hard hitting match because
Yeah.
like it's so intimate there, like everybody's right on you. Right?
Yeah.
That and then Carter Mason and Barry, like we were gonna do an hour the first one, and I remember the promoter was like, I don't think the crowd's ready yet, just keep it under 30. And I was like, okay, so we went like 30 minutes.
Yeah.
And then the next one, he was like, okay, we're ready. And
Yeah.
like, we had them for like 50 minutes
That's
or
awesome.
something. But-
And you have to call like 4 matches.
Oh yeah, I would put together like somebody asked me this at a seminar. I was just like, I put together like spots. So like I'll have like 4 or 5 turnaround spots that have
Yeah.
falsies involved, and then everything else you just figure it out.
Yeah.
But like I've progressed now to like now I don't want to call the start of a match at all.
Yeah.
In the back, I don't want to call the heat. I won't
Yeah.
even call my cutoff if I'm a heel.
Yeah.
Like I just want to.
We were
I'll
just
put the
talking about
falsies
that.
together, but like
Yeah.
other than that, I don't
Backward.
want to know anything.
Yeah.
Because, like, I'll change stuff all the time, and then, like, guys freak out now
Yeah.
sometimes, which is understandable. I said this, like, because I always come home with a black eye or a broken lip or my nose will be broken, and it was just, like, a 6-week span. Every weekend I came home, my wife was like, what the fuck did you do now?
Yeah, yeah.
And it was like, I'm wrestling a newer guy every weekend, and they get nervous with me, and they'll always hit me once.
Yeah.
Like, super hard, and I'll just be like, okay. You know, I don't get mad or anything because I'm expecting it.
Of
so
course.
I'm just like, okay. And then, like, if it happens 4 times, then I'm just like, relax, dude. But, like, it's
Yeah.
usually always just once.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And, like...
And you just wrestled Blackwood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was really good.
Yeah.
Like, a good thing to say about him is, like, guys have a real tendency with me. Like, if I chop you, they'll just fucking collapse, crawl away, and run.
Yeah.
To be like, I need to sell for this guy. When I want them to fight back. And, like, Blackwood fought back.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Which was, like, it's an instinct that you, like...
That's kind of like Jesse says that, like, don't get eaten up on those.
Ever.
So, like, if you're getting chopped, like, just come right back at the dude. And, I mean, there's a time and place to, like, sell. But, like, yeah, like, at first, like, you should definitely come right back at the dude.
It's also a bad habit to get into, too. If, like, you chop somebody and they crawl away from you, I'm going to chop you again.
Yeah.
Right? So it's almost you're letting a guy almost take a liberty with you.
Yeah.
Or standing your ground. Like,
and I'm stupid. Like, he kicked me in the chest, and, like, the crowd, like, went up a little bit. So I was just like, fuck this. And I chopped him again, and he went to sell away. I'm like, no.
Keep it going.
And, like, he kicked me, and I was like, harder next time. Boom.
Yeah.
And, like, he smoked me with the last one, and then I sold for him, right? And the crowd comes up, and I'm just like, that's what I want him to try to hear, because, like, that's what I hear now. Once you get settled and, like, the nerves go away of having to, like, remember spots or anything like that.
That's the
like,
biggest,
You just, like, you're like, you can listen to the crowd and what they do,
Yeah.
and, like, I thought he was, like, 2 years he's been wrestling or something, he said?
Well, him and I, like, it was really weird. Like, when I started coming back to wrestling, I think I had 4 months on him or something like that. So he's been, but he goes, you know, he gets the opportunity to go
He's wrestling every
consistently.
weekend now.
Where for me, it's like, oh, I'm going to take 2 months off because I got to go work.
Yeah.
You know?
I saw him, I watched Daniel Garcia's match, and then I had a match with him right afterwards.
Yeah.
And, like, I told them both, I think, maybe just Blackwood, but I was just like, it took me 8 or 9 years to be anywhere near where you guys are right now.
Yeah.
And that is depressing.
Yeah.
And
No, it's not.
Be awesome for you guys. You know what I
But
mean?
that's like the thing, like that, like in Buffalo right now, like Danny, Kevin Bennett, Kevin Blackwood, and Anthony Nicometti are like, they're leaps and bounds better than anyone. Like they're all young and just hungry as fuck. You know what I mean? And it's so cool to watch, like, just because when my band was like early on, I remember how stoked it was. Like, wait, you're telling me I get to drive to Florida and play a show? One show? Done. We're leaving now. You know what I mean? And like, you do an 8-10 hour drive, you get to Florida, the show is okay. You know what I mean? And then like, you're going home, like, those dudes are just like, and I mean, I got to throw Puff in there, obviously.
Yeah, absolutely.
But because they're just, you know, oh, you want to go to Limitless? Sure. You drive, you know, to Maine. And then they're all in that van. They go to Maine. And, like, they don't know if they even have spots. You know what I mean? Like, they're just going to Maine.
I think it helps just because they have such a great relationship, too. So when you're with good people, it's just going to rub off like anything.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I know a lot of the part, like, wrestling didn't really come easy to me ever. But I definitely caught on quicker because I was with guys like Josh, Julian, and Bruno.
Of course.
Because, like, maybe they were better at something than I was, and I'd pick that up from them. And since we were together all the time, you know, it's just like that relationship is so important. Because if you're good and you're alone, like, you're not going to progress that fast.
Iron sharpens iron.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's like I think that's like the biggest thing. I remember like first, you know, you play shows, and this isn't like to toot every time I die's horn, but like we would like go into any show like we were playing to 6,000, 60,000 people, and we'd be playing a basement in Madison, you know what I mean? Like Madison, Wisconsin. And then you'd go there, and like, even if it's only 30 people, they knew that all 5 of us wanted to be there at that time. You know what I mean?
That's huge.
So like that, once we started touring with, or started like actually going on like package tours where like then you're touring with like 4 bands, but just like that, the shows got increasingly better. You're like, oh fuck, we're playing with like Converge today, which is like, for us in our world, like Converge is like the Beatles. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like, fuck, if we can like just hit that amount of gnarly, we'll be fine. And then you do it and you're like, oh shit, like we had a really good show with Converge tonight.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like people went off when we played. Then it's like, oh, Dillinger Skate Plan's coming. They're the end all be all of like live bands in our world. And then you go on like a full tour, and then like at the end of a tour, they're like, we were terrified every night to play after you guys. And it was like,
That's the best compliment you ever
but
have.
that's iron sharpening iron. You know what I mean? Like,
Did something make you guys do that though? Like, was there somebody came
None-
in and phoned it in, and you were like, "Fuck that, we're not doing that."
No.
because like I say the same thing about
but
wrestling.
there's nothing worse to me. Like my neck is fucked up because I've headbanged for 20 years. You know what I mean? Like, and I headbang as hard as I can, right? So when I see a fucking half-assed headbang, it drives me fucking crazy, man. Like, and it drives me crazy when like, dude, I have the best job on earth. I fucking play guitar for a living. And when I hear people go like, oh man, like, how can you do this without doing drugs? And it's just like, are you fucking kidding me? How do you do this on drugs? Like, this is fucking awesome. You know what I mean? Like,
There's such a parallel to what you're saying.
I know.
Like,
I know, man. And that, like, it just blows my mind when, like, people don't live in that moment of, like, holy fuck, dude. Like, even if it's 30 people paid to see you perform, whether you're wrestling or you're fucking not. Like,
They paid
30
you, owe it to
people,
them.
30 people chose to see you over, like, going to Pizza Hut
Yeah.
buffet. You know what I mean? Or
Yeah.
whatever the fuck it is. And, like, there's a way to, like, I guess in wrestling, there's a way to bleed a stone. And obviously in music, there's a way to, like, bleed a stone where you get more for less, right? And that just
But
means...
that comes with experience too and time.
For sure.
You know, like that's not you taking advantage. That's you guys being smart.
Of course.
You know.
Yeah.
It's not being late. It's none of it's out of laziness.
Yeah,
And
and-
that's where a lot of it comes from, which drives me nuts.
Every time we play, like, the Orange County area, remember that band Lit?
Yes, I do.
That band, they own a bar called Slide Bar. One time they offered us to play, like, a secret show after our show. And ever since then, because they knew we didn't phone it in, like, we played a show and then literally packed up as fast as we could, went and played this, like, after party. Didn't just go in and play, like, 8 songs. We played, like, a 21-song set to, like, 250 kids that went absolutely bonkers. Now, to this day, they still, every time we play Orange County, they offer us that thing. Every single time. You know?
Yeah.
This is such a parallel to wrestling.
Well,
Dude,
every time we get together, all we talk about is laziness.
Cause
Yeah.
like, nothing will piss me off in a locker room more than hearing like, oh, you know, there's 20 people out there. Let's not do that bump or something like that. And like my best friend is like the number one guy of not wanting to bump.
Yeah.
Like Ethan Page, he was just like, he fucking hates the physical part of wrestling.
Yeah.
Don't touch him. Don't bump him. He's happy. But like he will work his ass off. And like he might only bump once, but everything else he does
Matters.
He's busting his ass.
Yeah.
And he'll have the best match on the show.
Yeah.
Me, on the other hand, I don't think I'm nearly as talented to do that.
Yeah.
But like I'm busting my ass whether it's 10 or 100 or 10,000 because I remember I was like 2 years in and I got booked against somebody I'm not gonna name, but
Yeah.
I was super looking forward to it because he was like in Ring of Honor and all these other places that I looked up to. And when I wrestled him, he just didn't want to do anything. Zero. And like, it fucking soured me. I was like, I'm never gonna be that guy.
Yeah, it sucks.
Same as like when I'd get booked against like a veteran that came up before us and he'd be like he didn't want to give me a falsie.
Yeah.
So like when I wrestled Blackwood, literally it was like 5 falsies for him after the hot comeback and the finish for me.
Yeah.
Because like it doesn't make me look weak.
Yeah.
Like I have a reputation around Ontario at least.
Yeah.
So like it just makes him look better, right?
Awesome, yeah.
But
Well,
like-
it makes both of you guys look awesome. In my mind. You know what I mean? But yeah, that like, I hate when people want to take a night off. It drives me crazy, man.
There's no excuse.
Dude, this is on the last tour. We played like this little tiny place in Macon, Georgia. It was like right after a Warped Tour, and I mean tiny. Like this place was like tiny, and it just so happened that Pennywise, that like punk rock
Puff's
band,
favorite band?
huh?
Puff's favorite
Yeah,
band?
Puff. No, that's
Is that Twisted?
Twisted.
Oh, that's
I
right.
thought
My
it was
bad.
Big
That's
Fish.
Twisted.
That's right,
Yeah. But he loved like Pennywise is like they've been around since the 80s. Dude.
Yeah.
85 I think they started, something like that. And they were like in the same city as we were. Like they took a day off in Macon, ate at this like seafood place across from the venue. And like they were like we saw Fletcher like the one guitar player were like, dude, like
That's him.
play tonight. And he was like, you guys want us to play the show? And we were like, yeah, jump on as like a secret guest. Like, dude, it'd be sick, right? When was the last time you guys played a venue like, to 250 people?
Yeah.
And he was just like, dude, I'm going to get on. I'll be right back. And like, you know, this like 53-year-old man like went and tried to like rally the troops. And he was like so pumped. He was like, they're like 80% in. And then like the show goes on. And I remember like we started playing. I saw Fletcher's like 8 feet tall and like 4 feet wide. Like the guy's enormous. He's just a monster. And you see him in the background just taking up the entire back. And then you see him walk away 3 songs in because it was so hot. And like after the show, they were just like, no.
Couldn't do it.
It was too hot in there. Like, no way. And I was like, but that is so respectable because he was
there.
That would be like Hulk Hogan running into any show that we've ever been to and being like, oh, come on, put me in there tonight, man. I want to do it, you know?
That's like, see, I think a lot of people can look at that and be like, isn't that embarrassing? They've been doing it for 30 years and they still want to do like these small venues and whatnot. That's inspiring to me.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot, I don't know what happened this week, but there's been a lot of posts about people like hating wrestling, involved with wrestling.
Yeah.
And like, I just love wrestling. I've always said, I'm going to wrestle. If I only wrestle in Hamilton, Ontario, that's fine with me because I love wrestling.
Yeah.
But if it brings on bigger and better opportunities, that's just the cherry on top.
Of course.
But like, the amount of people that are involved with something that they don't want to do at all breaks my heart. And I see a lot of it in wrestling because I am in wrestling.
Yeah.
But like, I'm sure you've seen it too. Bands that are touring that would rather be doing anything else.
It makes zero sense to me,
Yeah,
man.
just quit. No one's making you do
They're
that.
usually really successful.
Yeah.
No, that's how it always is, man.
Yeah.
But then, like, we just got off shows with Fall Out Boy. And, like, that, if anything, man, you're playing in, like, arenas. It's such a weird disconnect. You're playing on this, like, enormous stage to, like, an arena of people, and, like, the next closest person to you is, like, 50 feet away.
Yeah, that's wild.
You know what I mean? Like, you're not near people. You're not feeling that, like, energy, but then they've done that for so long that they see things a different way than like you and I would see things in like that. Like imagine that'd be like The Rock coming to like A1.
Yeah.
And, you know, Alpha One and being like,
yeah, we'd be like, this is a great draw. And he's like, is it?
yeah, you know what I mean? It's like, dude, it's electric in here tonight. And he's just like,
I guess.
yeah, I got you, bud. Do you know what I mean? Like something
totally.
like that. But like, that's due to the fact that like, dudes like that didn't have a scene for us to like come up in. Do you know what I mean?
Yep.
Their only experience is arena.
That, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Can you imagine?
But to go on, Fall Out Boy still plays those shows like they don't want to be anywhere else, and it's awesome. Like, that to me is inspiring because
if people are paying
they don't
to
have
see
to.
you have an obligation
For sure.
to those people. And like yet again, if it's only 5 people,
Yeah.
like you have an obligation. And like, I guess people look at wrestling differently because you're putting your bodies on the line. But yet again, no one's making you do this.
Of course.
Right? Like, you don't have to. And that's where working smarter comes into play.
Of course.
Like, I'll only take one bump tonight, but they'll never notice because we're going to be doing so much fucking this, that, and whatever.
Yeah.
You know? It's just, that's where it comes into play. It's just zero tolerance for laziness. Like, if you drove here, you washed your gear, hopefully. Like, you're gearing up, and now you don't want to do anything?
Yeah.
Right? Like, fuck you. Somebody wants to.
Yeah.
Get the fuck out of here.
Puff.
Yeah, exactly.
Puff's ready to rock.
Exactly.
All the time.
You know? Like, fuck.
Okay, one thing. Obviously, it would be weird if I didn't talk to you about the border shit,
Okay.
which sucks.
Yes, it's
like
terrible.
the fucking worst thing on the fucking earth. And also you, because
The worst thing
you're,
on earth. Yeah.
you're from Canada. Josh has now been denied twice.
No, once. Just
Once.
fully denied.
Fully denied.
Yeah,
So
I
what
got-
just happened?
I got it kicked back, which isn't a denial.
Yeah.
I had to go through all this with my lawyer on the phone. And I had to resubmit. This was in June, so I resubmitted with further evidence, and then I got a denial. So I have been denied entry to the United States under a work visa because I didn't make myself to look like a big enough deal to be deserving.
That's literally it.
Yeah, it's subjective though. So like I have an agent that was going over it with NCIS or whatever it is, and he kicked it back and it would go right back to him, which is beneficial because he's already familiar with my case. Problem being, I sent them. They want pictures of championships, tournaments, which I've been very successful.
We were literally talking about this earlier. Yeah.
I've been successful enough to where I legitimately just sent what I legitimately won, and it's a lot of shit. In 13 years or 12 years at this point, and he kicks it back. He's like, "Oh yeah, that's all great. We'll prove that. You just need to like legitimize it somehow." Blah blah blah. So, explain wrestling to me is basically what he wanted. So the promoter that was sponsoring me at AEW, sent the stuff explaining what wrestling is and what I do in a day to day of a wrestling booking, and in it he put, "I do what I'm told via the booking sheet. Win, lose, or whatever." So this guy responds, "You're denied based on the basis of, oh yes, you've won all these tournaments, championships, and you've been very successful. You've gone to Europe and all this other stuff. However, it's up to some guy with a pencil to decide."
Yes, exactly.
So there's no skill involved. So it doesn't legitimize that you're a big deal. And like, I just like wish I could be sitting in a room with him and be like, but they wouldn't fucking spend money to fly me out to these places if I wasn't a draw of some sort or something. You know what I mean? A value to the show.
But like, how dumb is it? They're looking for legitimate evidence in an illegitimate sport. Like, none of it fucking makes sense.
The problem is there's no criteria for professional wrestling.
Of course, yeah. Except for what, cagematch.com.
Yeah, basically, yeah. Which is totally wrong.
I was applying under an artist.
Yeah.
So,
but that's
pretentious of you.
But no.
It's true though. I mean, like, honestly, like,
well, the other people like Impact and WWE, they do P1s, which is like a sports visa, like you're on a sports team or something.
Yeah,
I guess. But I did O1, which is a different argument, I guess.
Yeah, that makes no sense.
I was told that unless the company has national television exposure, they don't see it as a big enough deal that they'd want me.
That's insane.
Yeah, that's fucking retarded.
Even though, if I did get my American work visa, I'm pretty sure I would have been able to just live off wrestling.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
You 100% would have.
Super bummer.
It like...
Luckily, it didn't cost you anything.
You're such a fucking asshole.
You had to go through the preliminaries. Was it 3Gs?
Yeah, it was just over. It was $3,500 after exchange. And
That's our guitar player Jordan had to do the same thing. Like, but he has like an offense. You know what I mean? Like, had an offense.
Well, that way you can at least rationalize it. Like, okay,
for sure.
I did something wrong.
And like, he had to send like a letter to a congressman and shit like that, and like do it that way. But it was going into other countries from the United States. You know what I mean?
My thing was like, what's the harm in just saying, yeah, go try it out for a year and a half?
Yeah.
Because it was already 6 months into the 2-year contract.
Yeah.
That they were waiting to, like, so like, what was the harm in just saying?
Of course.
And I would have paid taxes.
Yeah.
American taxes and stuff to show that I have an income.
Yep.
So like, they're just going to make money off me.
Yeah.
That's true.
It's very strange.
Have you guys seen the Mr. Rogers documentary?
Haven't yet.
No.
Watch it.
Oh,
like,
I'm
immediately.
Tonight.
Because there's a section in it where they're basically going to, I don't know how I'm equating this to you, but
just make it work.
No, it would be amazing if like you guys could literally go to that human being and talk to them face to face.
Oh, it's just
what I'm saying. It like there's a scene in this Mr. Rogers documentary where they were going to pull the funding for PBS, and instead of like some suit prick like from PBS going there and talking, they had Mr. Rogers like go and talk on behalf of PBS about how important it was that they needed that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then that guy was like willing, he was not going to budge. Like that, I think it was like Santora, I can't remember the guy. Anyways, it was like whatever the governor was or senator that was in charge of this, he had to sit in front of him and like explain it. And then finally he was just like, yeah, that all makes sense. Like,
you broke it down like we needed to hear.
Exactly,
finally.
Man. And it's like, I don't think there's a possibility to do that on a piece of paper or having another person speak for you instead of it just being like, hey, can Josh come here and talk to me?
Yeah, because then you feel his emotion.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
or in general, it's just like, dude, I have a wife, I have 2 kids at home, and I'm really good at this thing. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's insane. But, yeah.
I know you don't understand or know what the fuck it is, but...
Or just be like, dude, come to a show. You know what I mean? Like,
but before that, I was flagged, and like I would still cross every weekend. I got away with it for 2 years.
Yeah.
And I knew I was going in every single time, and I was going to be interrogated for 30 to 120 minutes.
Yeah, of course.
And I'd be asked every question in the book and all this stuff. And I had points where I was arguing with people and I'd be like, I need to speak to your like supervising officer and stuff. And that guy would come up to me, and I'd pull him aside, and I'd be like, listen, man, this is petty.
Well, I remember the one time we went in, you got a guy that you got like the week before, and he just, as soon as you met with that guy, he was just like, yeah, don't fucking worry about it. Say hello to Hacksaw to me or something.
Yeah, Haas.
Yeah.
Because he had Charlie Haas's last name.
Yeah, and you just like...
The Buffalo Border. Every time, if I got him, I knew it was good.
Like,
Yeah.
this
He
guy
was just
knew
like,
you
oh,
at
he's
this
harmless. Go on in.
Yeah.
But everybody else, like, they just want to catch somebody. It's like a competition.
It's so weird. I was telling him that's how it is with, you just go over and like sometimes you have, it's all based on the person that day and if they want to play or if they don't want to. And it's literally, you could go to the same guy 10 times and just 5 of the times he'd be a cool guy, 5 times he'd be a dick.
Yeah.
And it's not because they have like a quote that they need to like, well, you got to pull over 30 people today. You know, it's literally just, well, I don't trust this guy.
Yep.
And that's it. And then you're stuck in there.
Yeah, it's
so
unbelievable.
stupid, man.
What a great job they have.
And I'll tell you, man, like if you've been anywhere else, no other border on earth is like this.
Really?
No, Switzerland is the closest thing, and Switzerland is only because,
They're neutral.
well, they also have a lot more money than everybody else.
Yeah, that's true.
So like
The
they're,
villains had their money.
yeah,
Well, England, I crossed with my visa. I landed my flight with Ethan Page.
yeah,
So we're going through customs together. My visa's fine. They're like, yeah, go on in. What are you doing? Wrestling, all this stuff. Here's my visa number. And then I'm waiting for him. And they go, oh, your visa's expired. And he goes, oh, no. Because he's like, I just flew all the way here. They're going to send me back all this stuff. She's like, oh, no problem. Take a seat. We're going to call this number that you have on your visa. They call the number. The guy pays an extra $50 and it's approved right away.
Yeah.
Wow.
And you're like, and he walks right in. And it was like 10 minutes.
easy,
Yeah.
literally easy. Russia is easier than Canada.
Yeah.
Really?
Russia, and like, dude,
And they have a long
I've never
border.
had that much anxiety in my life. When we went to Russia, like other bands, dude, My Chemical Romance got held up for like fucking $10,000 or something. They legit, like 2 fucking guards just took them in and was like, pay us
Not today.
$10,000 or we won't let you in. And like they probably just pocketed it.
Oh, I'm
No,
sure.
yeah,
Yeah,
for sure.
yeah. There's no. Yeah, there's no.
So like as we're going
Paper
through, we
trail.
were just like, dude, we don't have $10,000
Yeah.
like to spend. Like we can't like.
We got a bargain down here.
Yeah. How about $2.50? Like $2.50. Like, and that I was like, I remember being stressed out about that, and it was just nothing. That's what I'm saying. Like to hear the horrors that you guys go through to get in the United States to like wrestle is just so wild to me, man. So if anyone's listening and you're like in that world, help these dudes out. Probably not though.
It really is.
I've reached out to them before.
Yeah. It is crazy how much geography, like if we were born and now we're south.
Me and Paige say this all the time. If we were born beneath that
You'd be some
fake
guys.
line on
Yeah.
we would have had jobs
So easily.
Yeah,
5 to 8
Easily.
years ago. Like,
Yeah.
easy.
yeah.
It would have been wild. Like that, you guys would all be wrestling everywhere.
But there's like zero exposure in Canada.
Yeah, it's hard.
Trying to change it, but
It's
Yeah.
getting there.
I
Like,
think with like I want to do this thing with Powerbomb TV where like I do like a tour
Yeah,
and like they host all the stuff I do for
Yeah.
all the different promotions with all the different guys.
yeah.
So like, or like So like
Is
maybe that'll be
Powerbomb
exposure.
just Canada?
No,
It's everywhere.
it's everything. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
They take stuff from everywhere.
Destiny.
They do not discriminate.
Powerbomb fucking blew up like overnight.
Yeah.
I remember hearing Steve Brown talk about it. I was like, I've never heard of this thing. And then a month later, every independent's on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it took over quick.
They did a couple live ad pay-per-views and they were just flawless. So
Yeah.
you knew you could trust them.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
a
of
big
course.
thing.
Yeah.
So I remember like the Flow Slam thing. Like for a while, you'd like get on it and it'd be like, "Yeah, this might work."
I lost like 4
It might
pay-per-views
work,
worth of
yeah.
money to that.
Yeah.
But yeah, that like, I don't know. Maybe that's, I don't really believe in destiny, but maybe that's your path.
I'm just rolling with it, man.
That's the way
Yeah.
to be.
I mean, for real though, like there's nothing else you can do other than that.
And
you
at
know
least
what I
I
mean?
know. Like I paid $3,500 to
Yeah.
know
Yeah.
that like I can't do that.
That is a horrible answer. Though, like, it's
And
like-
it was such a tease too, because we got all this stuff. Like you need 3 of 7 criteria approved.
Yeah.
The first time he sent it back, he's like 2 of 3 are already approved. You just need 1 of these other 4.
Wow.
And like we resubmitted the other information. He's
Yeah.
like, nah, changed my mind.
What a fuck.
At least you're stuck in Canada at a time when Canadian independent wrestling is at its peak,
For real.
right? Like wrestling in general, but like we are pretty fucking blessed
Yeah.
up here. And like we were
Yeah.
saying, we got a good group of people too.
And I mean, it's you've been doing stuff for Impact, right? Have you
Yeah,
done
up
it?
here.
Yeah. So like, and it's kind of cool that Impact now is like basically Toronto
Canadian
based.
company, yeah.
Well, Toronto and Windsor, right?
Yeah, basically, yeah.
And they're gonna run. Like, just found out that they're running like New York City. Like,
Bound for Glory, I think.
we're
Yeah,
we're doing
October.
5 shows in New York, and I think those shows like Impact is doing like the 14th, 15th, and 16th.
Yeah.
And we're there until the 15th.
Oh shit,
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
that is sweet.
Like I texted Laura and I was like, Laura, are you on these shows? She's like, yeah.
That's sick.
Like, how about that right there? Just
Mary Pepper Burks.
tell yeah. Just tell Jade. You'd be like, I'm gonna get a beard in the States. Yeah. Just get married. Get a green card. All you guys can marry Puff.
Before we wrap
It's
this
legal.
up, have you seen either of you? No, because I wanted to get this in.
I
The
like
movie called Demon House.
No.
it. No.
Okay, I saw it on Amazon Prime or Prime Video or whatever. I just clicked on it because it had a cool cover to
Okay.
it, and it said horror. I'm certain it's bullshit. It's a documentary movie, and this guy, he's like, Zach Bagans, maybe his name.
Oh yeah.
He
Zach
does like the
Bagans.
Ghost Hunter.
He
stuff.
does. He Ghost Adventures. Please.
Yeah,
Watch your mouth.
My apologies. My
Okay.
apologies. He finds this house in like I think it's like Ohio somewhere.
Yeah.
And he goes into it and it just has this deep, dark fucking past of it just haunting people and stuff.
Is it new or old?
I'm pretty sure it's new.
Okay, because he did like an original one like ages ago. That's what got him the job.
See, this is why I think it's all fake.
Okay.
Because I did the research after watching this. I was scared shitless. I watched it like a
I love
Tuesday night
that.
at 10:30. Didn't
Yeah.
go to bed till Thursday at 10:30.
I love that.
But like a typical ghost movie.
I might watch this tonight.
It's great. But like a typical ghost movie, the one time the ghost can be seen on camera, the camera kind of falls.
Of course.
Whatever. But like there's a few scenes in it, because it's all documentary style about their like just doing a huge piece on this house. And it's just, nothing's really, it just gives you that sense of dread for an hour and a half.
Yeah.
And like, it's very subtle things they do, and it scares the shit out of you. I don't think there's any like real jump scares in it, but like holy fuck, I watched it and I was like, that's amazing. And
Does
then
he get possessed?
Yeah.
Oh, dude, when he gets possessed, it's
Yeah.
great.
Yeah. And like, but the possession isn't like him crab walking down the stairs. It's just subtle things, but that's what makes it the most scary, because it's
Yeah.
like, wait, that seems the most realistic,
Yeah.
right?
Does
And
he have the fat bald guy with him?
I can't remember.
Well, the skinny fat guy. He used to be like fat. Now he's skinny.
maybe
His
maybe.
name's- there's Nick.
He's got a couple guys.
Yeah.
But it's just like, fuck, it's awesome. And once I went online and read about it, everyone's like, oh, that guy's full of shit, blah, blah. But I was like, I don't care. I fucking love the movie.
I met him once.
Really?
And it was inside, and he had sunglasses on the whole time.
Cool
and
guy.
I remember being like, "Is it that bright in here?" And he was like, "No." I was like, "Oh, okay."
He's got like a museum of like horror artifacts in Vegas.
In Vegas,
And I'm
yeah.
just like, oh, I'm going to see this.
I think Hana on the next tour we have 4 days off in the middle of the tour, and I think Hana and I are gonna go to Vegas, just spend like 2 days in Vegas, and I want to do that. I want to do they have like a neon museum where it's
That's-
all the neon lights from over the years.
That's where the old lady wants to get our pictures taken.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, you're gonna do like pictures?
Yeah, we're supposed to do a Vegas wedding if I ever decide to propose. She's got it all planned out. It's just up to me at
I
this
like
point.
it.
gonna have
Yeah,
to.
Hana claims that she's got like some wild.
I'm sure
And
they all
she
do.
never talks about that stuff though. Like she never talks about like marriage stuff. And then the one day, like I like mentioned something about marriage. She's like, "Yeah, I got something figured out." And I was like, "Damn it!"
All right.
She doesn't want to spook you.
Yeah. She probably does though. That's the.
Oh, I'm sure they do. They've been thinking about like. It hasn't even crossed my fucking mind. If anything.
7 years.
Yeah, it has crossed my mind.
I rolled
because it
over on the
reminds
second
me.
date and was like, we're going to get married.
That blows
Yeah.
my mind.
We got married 3 months later, man.
But see, now I'm so deep into it. We own a house, 2 dogs, fucking. Now I'm just like, can we just go to City Hall? But then I'm like, I've made her wait this long. I should probably give her what she wants. So,
Yeah.
you know. So if any wrestling promoters out there want to pat that envelope a little more, old Rosalind will love you for it.
An Easter egg for the podcast. My wedding,
Yeah.
he got a hole in one on the 18th green.
Damn right I did.
Really?
Yeah, we bang at every wedding.
Oh, I love that.
She's a great girl. She's a great girl.
I was
love
so
that
happy when I heard that.
Yeah.
It was like starting to mist rain. If this were coming down right now, I'm going to tell her to tell the story. But yeah, it was like beautiful. I'm like, I'm not romantic at all. I don't have that emotion or bone in me. I don't realize it. And as
It's called Asperger's.
well, whatever. And just we were just going at it. I was like, I think this is romantic. Because it was like there was like this white arched gable where they were supposed to get married, I heard.
Yeah.
If they were to do an outdoor wedding.
Yeah.
And
But then it ended up being indoor.
Yeah.
just
So
in
we
case
took it
of
outdoor.
rain.
Where did you guys get married?
Golf course.
Okay.
Guelph. Yeah.
It was beauty.
Yeah, but he sent me that the next day, and it was just like, fuck.
We've done it every wedding since. That started a tradition. It was
love
nice.
that.
Yeah.
Well, sometimes weddings can be a drag.
Well, I don't like being dressed up. I'm uncomfortable. So she gave me the opportunity to take off my pants.
You
I
wore
was
like suspenders and cowboy boots.
and jeans.
Yeah,
And that's about as
jeans,
dressed up as I get. Nothing fits.
Hold on a
comfortably.
second. Now that I have you here, dude, the country music thing,
I love it.
it literally is the most wild thing about you.
I have a bag right there. I won't get it out because we don't need to, but it's full of country music.
I'm not kidding you. Like, out of all the shit I have learned about you in the past 2.5 years, I would say that I've known
Yeah,
you.
that's about right.
That is the most jarring thing.
I'm a
You don't
diehard.
like country music?
I don't get it.
Like none of it?
There's
Old
some
stuff?
I get.
It
Like,
literally, when I hear country music,
I love.
it literally speaks to me.
Who's the guy I like? Sturgill
Simpson.
Yeah, Sturgill Simpson.
Like the guy kicking ass and eating
No, that's
pussy or
Wheeler
whatever?
Walker.
Oh.
I have his
Yeah.
vinyl upstairs if you want to listen later. Just
But
saying.
that is just I don't know what it is, man.
Oh, I love it.
It literally does nothing. For
Because
me.
the reason I love it is because I'm the everyman. Like,
Yeah.
like I am. Like I just like.
I never knew what kind of car you drove. Like when I saw Tarek's car, I was like,
that makes sense.
yeah, it just him making those videos of him listening to rap in his car. I was
Yeah.
like,
Little Fast and Furious car.
of course
Yeah.
you drive that. When I rolled up and saw you in this fucking giant, I was like, what?
That's the only truck that I've had that isn't a piece of shit.
You're
my
a
first
truck
truck, I had
guy.
to hold the driver's side door closed at all times.
So you've been a truck guy for a bit.
Yeah, because I like country.
Oh my god.
It goes hand in hand. Like now I use the truck for work a lot more, so
Yeah.
there's a little more practical use to it. But I remember I rolled up to Josh's house one time in my GMC Sierra. It was a piece of shit. It
Yeah.
was me and Bruno, and we had to pick him up. And I pull up, he comes out of his house and goes, I'm not getting that fucking thing. And I'm
Yeah.
like, I know it's a piece of shit, but it's
Come
my
on,
car.
man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's like, look at the tires. And they were just the wires.
They were silver. I'm not even kidding.
I didn't even know.
Yeah.
That turned into a big thing because we had to get the tires. You called Canadian Tire or something, fixed it all for us.
Yeah.
But we got fucked. And that's one of the times I was so happy
Yeah.
that he took initiative because I was supposed to get we went to a show, they were supposed to fix my tires, and then I was driving home and they were just like, yeah, we didn't do it. And I
Yeah.
was just like, oh, well, I'm fucked. And I would have just been like, that's okay, I'll just ride home my rims. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Don't worry, that's on me.
The rims will be fine.
But yeah, thank God I had him at that time.
We had a sound guy. We have a sound this dude named Charlie Bybee that works for us, and he told us that he bought a pickup truck and one country tape because this girl he really liked loved country. And then she never they went on 3 dates. She never called him again. And he just had this pickup truck with one country tape.
Dude, I love it. While I was waiting for you in the parking lot, I was
Yeah.
banging the shit out of my dashboard because my CD player, I've had the same Toby Keith CD in my CD player since I got it. It won't eject anymore.
I
So I
love
was beating the fuck out of it, but I don't want to ruin the tape.
See,
or the CD. So.
My dad was, for some reason, he was a musician.
Yeah.
He had an album. It was country music.
Yeah.
It was Garth Brooks. He leaves that part out.
Yeah.
But
Garth Brooks.
But I grew up. My dad would only listen to Led Zeppelin and Neil Young and all these really legit bands and then he was a country music guy. For some reason. So I'll listen to country now.
I love it.
I don't like it as much now. I liked it more 5-6 years ago.
Yeah, you were into it for a
when I
bit.
was drinking and going
Yeah.
out trying to pick up chicks.
Yeah.
But now,
I get the hate. Every song is the fucking same.
yeah, they
no
do. They
sense
do
to
very
me.
much sound.
Every song's the same, but I like the songs that it resonates with me when you just talk about your
Love.
dog and
Yeah.
going to work and
Dude.
being happy.
So when you guys were coming up though, what were you guys listening to on drives?
I acted like however Del Bruno acted.
Okay.
Because I thought he was
What
cool
was
as
that
shit.
fucking song you guys sang all the way to a show on repeat? One Direction something.
Yeah, it wasn't One Direction.
Like,
That's before.
Too Late to Apologize.
Yeah, that was a big one.
These
Because then
guys-
there was like 20 different remixes.
These guys.
And then we like Scatman for the longest time because there's a really good wrestling music video to that.
Okay.
And then like really, I remember I used to only dress in like. Do you guys have Le Chateau in the States?
I have no idea what. Oh wait, you know what? It's got one of the funny things, right?
Geno's.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Like
I know what
Pointy
you're talking about.
shoes.
Yeah.
like very Gino look to it.
Yeah.
And I remember like Del Bruno used to dress there, and like I'd be like, all right, I guess that's what I'm gonna wear.
Yeah.
Right. And then one day I just remember being like, I'm not in one thing I would have picked out. Like not one thing from the shoes to the fucking underwear. Like nothing on me I'm wearing. Like I guess I look decent.
Yeah.
But like this is not me at all. And then I just started wearing like all I wear now is jeans, combat boots, and a t-shirt.
Yeah.
Right. And then shorts and flip flops in the summer.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just I was a total poser for a long time. Cause like I didn't want to admit I like country music because it wasn't cool up until I don't know. It's probably been the mainstream for like 6 or 7 years ago.
Yeah.
6 or 7 years now. But like it was right before it really turned. I think I just broke up with my girlfriend. I stopped being a little bitch, and I was like, I'm gonna like what I want to like. Yeah, he knew me when I was a real bitch.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
She was like some blonde little thing that had him wrap. Well, they're all blonde little things with him, but like,
I have a type.
But she wore like Tim's with like TNA pants
wow.
and like a fucking toque and listened
Yeah.
to like the
She let me have
Puffy
sex
Jacket,
with her though, so I
Yeah.
was just
you know
like,
what I
this is
mean?
unbelievable.
Listening to Fat Joe.
Yeah.
One of the last times I cried, I think it was because of Josh. And he threw me down a flight of stairs, and I remember I was so...
I fucking did not.
Jenny Dunn's house!
No, I powerbombed you on your front lawn in front of your father.
Okay, that was another time.
Oh
For
my
that
god.
WrestleMania VHS collection that's right over
Yeah,
there.
I sold that to him for $30 because I needed gas money to get to a show, and this
Yeah.
guy tried to take it and run in his house without giving me the fucking money I
He beat
needed.
the shit
Yeah.
out of me in
So
front of my
I
dad.
dragged him out as he's screaming, Dad, help me! And his dad just like, I don't know why I picture him with a pipe sitting on your fucking front
Yeah.
porch, like just an
the
old dude with
story.
a mustache.
Yeah.
I think he was smoking or something, and like he's trying to crawl away, and I just fucking give me my money. He's like, fuck you, and I like deadlift powerbombed him on his front lawn
Yeah.
as hard as I could.
I put him over big.
Yeah, and then he gave me my
That's
money.
not the time I remember. I remember once we used to always fight at one of our mutual friends' house, and one time he tackled me into a couch, and I caught him in a guillotine, and I tapped him out, which I want that to be on record.
I mean,
And
it's recorded.
And then I believe it was either minutes after or like the next day, because we'd always hang out there. He threw me down the stairs, and I was so demasculated and like embarrassed, and it hurt. I just cried.
Yeah.
And I remember being so embarrassed I was crying. I didn't want to cry.
But you were
It
just
wasn't-
crying.
I just couldn't help it. And literally, I'm not lying. That may have been the last time I ever cried. Because it was like, I'm never going to be this little bitch anymore.
Yeah.
And since then, I just bottle up every emotion I have. And one of these days, like the minute I have a child, I'm going to explode in tears and never stop it. Like,
Yeah.
because it's bottled up. I don't
Yeah,
feel
yeah.
it, but like science has proven it's there.
Yeah.
Right?
I'll take credit for all that then.
Yeah, for real. I remember I was like, man, I'm a fucking little bitch. He used to always make fun of me because my girlfriend was a slut and I didn't want to admit it. I was just like, oh, these guys don't got it right. She was a slut.
Yeah.
She was cheating on you.
Hey, man.
Like, I
I didn't know
Yeah.
because I was the last one to know, okay?
It's 2018, bro. Like, I never said
Yeah,
that.
it's cool.
Alright?
I just thought she was the only girl that would ever sleep with me. So I was like, it can't happen.
I punched a kid once and his dad hit me with a shovel. It was in high school.
That's sweet.
Yeah.
Did you get knocked out?
Did I get knocked out?
Yeah.
No.
Really?
He hit me with
Was
like
it a plastic shovel?
No, he hit me with like one of those
I'm
like
picturing a spade.
no, not a spade. It was like a metal like snow shovel. Like at that time. So it was like more of like a
Home
big
Alone.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Joe Pesci
Yeah.
when he walks through the door.
Yeah.
Fuck that guy.
Joe Pesci, really?
I have a
No,
Joe
no,
Pesci
no.
accent.
Just saying,
Oh,
fuck that
okay.
guy that hit me with
Fuck
that.
Joe Pesci. Like,
No, Joe Pesci's great. I want him back. Well, guys, we talked for a while. We
good.
talked about literally everything.
I hope so. I
Yeah.
hope we covered all our bases. Because I know the minute we turn this off, I'll be like, you know what I wanted to bring up? Meaning of life.
Yeah. Oh, you know what? Yeah.
Are you wrestling now though? Like
Yeah.
neck thing or not?
Yeah.
I wrestled him on Sunday.
Yeah, we wrestled on Sunday.
Secret
I
show.
thought you hurt somebody on Sunday. No.
Okay.
Yeah.
Keeping that quiet. That's an off-the-record talk.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. A mishap happened. But
Mishap happened.
yeah, we wrestled on Sunday.
Yeah.
And then I wrestled I wrestled that Blackcraft thing, and then I have.
That was huge.
It was pretty big.
Well, I saw everybody the next day at the Impact
Yeah.
show, and they were like, Alicia and like
Yeah.
It was like, yeah, it was dope.
Yeah, it was cool.
It just had an aura about it. You know what I mean? Like they
For sure.
set like a scene,
100%.
which is
Yeah.
so difficult to
And
do.
Pinhead was the guest ring announcer.
He was just chilling in the locker room, just like
I would have lost it.
just getting punished by all of us. Like, hey, you want to talk about? No, and this is the third time I've talked about that movie, but sure.
Remember that time you were Pinhead? That was awesome.
I have Hellraiser tattooed across my stomach because my dad watched the first movie and threw up, and that's why I got the tattoo.
Oh, have you guys watched the new Puppet Master?
Yes,
Is it good?
I loved it,
I've been holding out because I want to go back and watch the old ones because I haven't watched them in 20 fucking
dude.
years.
It's awesome.
Can I just watch
Dude.
it solo?
Fuck it, watch Mandy. Fuck everything,
Yeah, you've
and
been
just
telling
watch
me that.
Mandy. Like both of you guys, turn the lights out. Why?
My wife's afraid of the dark. I can't watch horror movies.
For real?
My house is empty.
Really?
Yeah, I haven't seen a horror movie in like a year and a half. I think the last one I watched, what was that house where they keep building new rooms?
Oh,
It didn't come out that. It was
fuck.
wasn't
With
very good.
Old lady, right?
Yeah.
Winchester House.
Yeah, it was
Something like that.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
it was okay.
I was
watch
like,
Hereditary. Tell her it's a family drama.
well, I took
not
her.
wrong.
I took her to see it last year at Halloween.
It's so good.
And I convinced her because I was like, oh, it's just a Stranger Things spin-off.
Yeah,
Essentially.
that's all it is.
Yeah, she didn't sleep. for a
Dude,
few
we
days.
used to, I grew up, there was a government housing subdivision, and there were, like, open sewers exactly like that we would hang out in all the fucking time.
Yeah.
And that is exactly what we were scared of. Like, maybe not a clown, but, like,
Something.
just ripping you apart and, like, dude, that brought back some crazy memories. Fuck, that movie's good.
Watch Mandy.
I gotta.
Just
The
tell
only thing that
tell
turns me off
Jade
about
and the
Mandy-
kids to go and then watch it.
I've
Don't
only ever known
don't-
ugly-ass girls named Mandy, including my cousin Mandy.
don't think of that.
That turns me on.
Don't do that.
It's like, have you ever met, like, a good-looking girl named Bernice? No. And it just
I
turns
don't
you
think
off
I've
the name.
ever met a woman named Bernice.
Ethel.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, 72.
Yeah.
She made me
Enid.
chowder.
Yeah, it's just, that's the only thing
Dude,
turning
watch Mandy.
me off. Okay.
It is, dude, I can't say enough.
It's that good?
Dude,
Nicolas Cage,
I'm not
2018?
kidding you. It's one of the best movies I've ever seen. Hands down.
You obviously haven't seen Garbage Pail Kids, but
I have seen it. Like I was
it's one of my
kid.
favorites.
Yeah.
3 favorite movies: Garbage Pail Kids, Good Burger, Drop Dead Fred. Not in that order.
Literally, his list has never changed.
Yeah.
Mine changes all the time.
Yeah,
I'm a
mine
crazy
changes all
movie
the
dude.
time, too.
His list is. I don't know
Yeah.
how Drop Dead Fred has fucking stayed on that list.
That's probably
Since-
number 1.
Raising Arizona is always in my
That's
top
good.
5.
I've never seen it.
It's
Dude,
very
it's
good.
perfect.
That's Nick Cage before everyone knew he was crazy.
Yeah. I guess I'm just a Nick Cage fan.
He's great, like Con Air, fucking The Rock,
Dude, I'm telling you, it's almost like the director.
Wicker Man.
Wicker Man,
The-
The Bees.
The director like showed him that compilation of him being crazy and was like, "This is all we need."
Hit it. I want your intensity through the
Dude,
roof.
Jesse and I have to talk about this with Jesse, but I'll just talk about it now. Like we didn't know what to expect. So like we saw the trailer and then instantly like me and the group of my friends that all go see movies, we're just like, we're waiting. And then finally it just came up 7:00 at these 2 theaters in Buffalo. That was it. No other showings. It was last Thursday. So like we go to it and the fucking screen starts and it's just Kevin Smith standing there and he's like, "You're about to watch an amazing movie. And after I'm going to do a Q&A with the 3 people."
So the
like
Q&A's in the movie.
it's Nick Cage, Panos, I can't say the guy's last name, Kostanopoulos or whatever,
I know
the
who you're talking
director.
about, though.
He did Beyond the Black Rainbow, that movie. And then it's Lyle Roach, this like British actor. And like the movie goes on, it finishes, and then Kevin Smith is there, and like those dudes come out, and fucking Nicolas Cage comes out in a gold leather jacket, a black shirt, leather pants, like cowboy boots, huge gold rings on his
Like he
fingers,
was in my wedding attire.
and then puts like these wild glasses on, and then there's every question is like amazing, or every answer is amazing that of the questions he gets asked, and then the last one, like Kevin Smith's like, "What's like a dream role for you?" And then he goes, "Well, I've always really wanted to be by the sea. My life has always been around the sea, and my parents, it just always makes me think of the sea and the ocean. I've always wanted to be Captain Ahab." Like that. And then Kevin, you could see like a light bulb just above Kevin Smith's like thing, like, I might need to make that.
I see. I don't know how I feel about taking like Kevin Smith telling me that's the greatest. Like you're about to watch the greatest movie because he did direct Yoga Hosers.
I watched like the first 10 minutes of that movie.
I heard he made it like strictly for his two daughters, and like that was it.
Yeah,
like it's not the best marketing strategy.
That's kind of cool though.
Yeah, I would too if I had that kind of money. He's got a terrible sense of fashion, but
I'm not a Kevin Smith guy.
Clerks.
I love Kevin Smith, but
I don't
also
like dialogue. That's the only thing.
I like Dogma.
Dogma's good.
Dogma's awesome.
Dogma's really good.
I watched Clerks.
I love Tusk. Like, and I think
I've heard that's great.
The reason why I like Tusk though is because I watched it in like the worst case scenario where I had like this guitar thing to do in Pittsburgh. Like someone had me go do like a guitar. I had to like play guitars all day. I had to play like 10 guitars on like camera. It was awful. And then it was like 75 out. Like nice out. I don't know if that means anything to you guys, but 75 degrees outside.
We got it.
Yeah. 14.
I only know it because Joe
degrees.
Nichols sings a song called "Sunny and 75." Keep going.
So, yeah. So, and it was like that nice out. I remember not wearing a jacket. Went out to eat with some buddies in Pittsburgh, and there were no windows in the place. I got out, and there was just a fucking blizzard. And I had to drive home, and I got stuck on the highway. I had to pull off, get a hotel because the highway was closed. And I was the only person in the entire hotel. I was the only car in the parking lot. And I was like, oh, I got this movie on my computer. I'll watch it. I watched Tusk, and I was like, I remember like texting my mom and being like, this is where I am. If I end up missing for some reason.
Every time I hear about the movie Tusk, I think it's the movie with Daniel Radcliffe, Harry Potter, where he has the horn out of his head.
Horn?
No,
is
that's
that what it's
Horn,
called?
Yeah. The movie's actually pretty good.
Is it good?
Horns.
Yeah, I always confused the two, and like I never liked Harry Potter, so I'm like, I have no interest.
Tusk is the reason why Mandy's rad is because, and Kevin Smith explains it, that like Tusk was his horror movie, and he used no CGI in it. It was
Which I
all
appreciate.
Like normal effects, and in Mandy they use only like effects. There's no CGI.
That's cool. See, I almost think that's how you have to do it. If you're gonna go practical, go 100%. Because you
please watch it.
They're still not good mixing. Yeah, well,
please watch it.
I just watched a couple of weeks ago. Now I watched The Witch. And I loved it.
I loved it.
I loved it. Yeah.
And if you liked Hereditary, they're the same story.
Yeah, essentially. Yeah, the talking goat and stuff. Like it's fucking crazy. The Old English took me a minute, but as soon as you get it, you get it.
Yeah,
Yeah, it doesn't take long. It's like when I watch a show with a British accent, I'm just like I just got to struggle through this for 3 minutes, and then I'm good to go.
Yeah. Well,
I can give you 3 quick ones.
What?
Den of Thieves.
Who's in
These
there?
are like
That's new.
It's new. It's
that
an
you've
action
watched.
Movie. That are really good.
Okay.
Den of Thieves. Shot Caller.
Okay. Shot Caller was which one?
Shot Caller is Nikolaj Coster-Waldau or whatever.
Oh, that guy.
I have no idea.
That dude. Up top in the middle.
Oh, okay.
Let's see.
I never heard of
It's
that.
on
movie.
Netflix. It's sick.
Yeah.
Like it's sick. And then oh man, I can't remember the other one. It's Jeremy Renner, and he's like it's something with the native reserve.
Oh, River. Wind River.
Wind River. So good.
Wind River is
Like
in
one of the best movies.
Yeah.
Really?
I've seen it.
I like Jeremy Renner.
Dude,
People
it's
tell
awesome.
me I look like a Mulan. I don't want me
Yeah,
to
you
break.
look just like him.
Well, now that I have a mullet, I don't so much, but
Someone
like
told
him.
me
He's
I
awesome.
looked like a Baldwin brother. And I
the
just
Biodome one.
Obviously Dan. It's obviously Daniel Baldwin.
That's
The
not
fat,
worst
puffy
compliment.
one. All right, well,
Well,
that
I think
just killed that.
was
Just killed
good.
that.
That was good. Thanks, Baldwin brother.
All right, well, guys, let's
Can I put over my podcast quick?
please,
I forgot last time. And it
both
killed
of you
me.
guys, please tell me what you have coming up.
Check out my podcast. It's called Wrestling with Myself. You can get it anywhere you get podcasts. That's about it. At Hacker Scotty.
I'm at walking_weapon on everything. I got a big match against Pete Dunne for the Destiny Heavyweight Championship
you
on
do.
October 7th,
You're over it.
Mississauga.
You're totally over
And I got another big title defense for Alpha One Wrestling on October 21st against a guy that I think is one of the best wrestlers in the world that nobody seems to know about, DJZ.
Oh, DJZ
Live on iPay-per-view on Powerbomb.
I've been waiting to come to an Alpha One show. I have
They're
never
great.
been.
We drove by it on our way here.
That one's got
Yeah.
PCO versus Ricky versus Kobe Durst on it too.
Okay, wild.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
I
sure
still haven't been to an
Kobe
Alpha
will
One show.
die,
So
I'm sure.
they're awesome. Oh, yeah, Kobe
Yeah.
will die.
Yeah.
I like. They always run the same place, right?
Yeah.
That's my favorite thing in the world. That's the one thing I liked about, like, I wish Smash would go back to Etobicoke.
It's been my favorite.
To
venue
the
they have.
Horner.
Yeah.
Yeah. It just had an electric.
I agree.
It just had a vibe to it.
Well, as soon
Phoenix
as they
is great,
moved
but I
there
hate-
from like that hockey puck,
E-zone.
indoor hockey
Hated
puck
that
place.
place.
Yeah.
Like it's just like because like the noise travels everywhere. There.
Yeah.
Like as soon as they moved over there, like
Yeah.
epic.
The Phoenix
Yeah.
is great, but the parking's terrible.
But then
Yeah.
they
It's
can't.
the only thing
they
I
could
hate.
probably fill more people in to
Yeah,
Phoenix
for
than
sure.
the Horner, right? You know what I mean?
just-
the production value probably goes up. And
It's just a great vibe.
I agree. That's
Yeah.
been one of my favorites.
Just
spots.
electric, man. When you're in there.
Right off the highway, can't beat it.
Yeah. Etobicoke. I remember like telling people, I'm like, I'm wrestling at Etobicoke.
Yeah, Etobicoke.
And like people
Excuse
are
me
like,
for saying it how it's spelt.
yeah, my bad. I remember being knocked out. Like when I got knocked out in that match, Jesse knocked me out in a match. And I remember like talking to the paramedics in the back or whatever. And he was like, where are you? And I was like, Frank Horner Community Center in Etobicoke, Ontario. And he goes, yep, you're good.
Yeah.
Like that. I was like, I know right where I am. All right, well, there it is. Let's call it a day, and I will do the call out. Well, heat's in the ring, brother.